Just to bring you a fresh perspective on today's hot button.
Okay, Triplet.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a TruthENTFilms.com presentation. We are aware, awoke, alive. We exist to bring you a fresh perspective on today's hot button issues. This is the Triple A Podcast with your hosts, Tia McCrary and Jamar B.V. Harris.
We back, baby. We back. Triple A Podcast. I'm your host, Black V. Tia ass ain't here because she over there doing her visitations with Greg and shit. Ever since she found out how much work that nigga was moving, and since he got all that money, she was like, I gotta go see my man. So she probably gonna kick my ass and telling on her.
She gonna get you.
She gonna get me.
You, bro.
Yo, I'm Black V, the producer D80 kid, and over there, my new guest, my brother from another mother, B. Fields is here, aka Be Nice, better known as also as Brian.
What's happening?
Fields.
What's happening?
Over there enjoying that DC lifestyle. What's up, brother? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's good to be in good company, man. It's been a while since I've been since I get to catch up with you and D80.
Man, I'm happy to have you on finally as a guest, bro. It's been a long time in the making. I appreciate you for coming on. And I'm gonna have to tell the listeners that this brother tried to stun on me earlier because he up there in a nice tall building with the nice setup, and he gonna try to show me his view overlooking DC, like just try to stun on me. I'm like, so what? I just showed him the trees in my backyard, like, and what?
I mean, listen, here's the thing, right? You got the better situation because at the end of the day, you don't have to worry about concierges asking for your fucking ID. You don't have to worry about sharing your spaces with other animals and shit. You got a good space to where you can.
Wait, did you say the concierge?
The concierge. So check this out, right? So I got asked for an ID when I was coming down to pick up food from the building. Now, normally you would get, they would ask you for ID when you enter the building, when you're coming in from the front. But I came right off the elevator. So as soon as I pick up my DoorDash and then proceed to go to the door, she's like, do you live here? And I'm like, I'm trying to get her to look at my slides because I had on Nike slides. And I'm like, and it's raining outside, right? So I'm like, yeah. She was like, what's your name? I'm like, my name's Brian. I'm going to need to see your ID. I'm like, so let me see if I got this straight. You want me to go upstairs to my room with my fop to get my wallet and then come back downstairs to show you my ID? Like, make a long story short.
Make it make sense.
It was just a big misunderstanding and stuff like that. So I say all that to say it's better to have your space to where, you got the backyard.
Something go outside, please.
Yeah, it's peaceful and
serene. I don't know, man. I kind of want security in a concierge just to feel like I've accomplished things in my life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, walk down and they'd be like, hey, Mr. Harris, it's a beautiful day outside. I was like, hey, what's going on, Carl? You know what I mean? And like, skate out the building. You know what I mean? Like, the nigga probably open the door for you when you be leaving sometimes and whatnot. Like,
that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. No, I mean, but the people there is cool though. DC in general is a cool city. You got a mixture of, of course, the natives that live there, and then you have your transplants such as myself and other people from various parts of the country and the world that integrate there. So it's definitely an interesting experience for me because I was able to connect with different types of people, not only in the United States but outside the United States as well.
Dope. Mm-hmm. So on this show again, thank you. Welcome to the show, brother. I'm happy to have you. Normally, I start off with updates, and I update the people and let them know what we got going on, what we don't got going on, if I had to kill one of my kids, or if I had to come.
Well, how are your kids doing, by the way? How are they doing?
Get on my goddamn nerves. I don't even like them niggas, man, for real. Like, they just there. Like, we be beefing sometimes. Like, I be, like, set tripping on them. Like, be throwing up gang signs on them. Like, I'm from this side of the hallway. Don't come in my neighborhood.
So do you like beef with them like individually, or do you beef with all of them at one time?
I kind of beef with them. Nah, man, for real. The two girls be trying to gang up on me, man. They be trying to like go ahead and try to DP me or something like that. Them and their mom be trying to DP a nigga. You know what I mean? Like, we were really gang wars over here, man. Like, they be trying to. You heard how the one dude, Crip Matt, got like disciplined or whatever case, DP by his own gang for fucking up, right? Yeah. I'm like, I'll fuck up, and they be trying to DP a nigga. Like, come here, nigga. You need to come here, get this ass whooping, because you know you fucked up. Trash man came and you forgot to take the trash out.
Oh shit, stupid! And then they rolled you. Stupid! You forgot to take the trash out.
Yeah.
Then they
They
kick
be
you in
doing
the
me
ass.
dirty, man. They be
Fuck
doing me
out of
dirty.
here.
Yeah. They don't care. They don't got no love for me. But so the new things we got going on is a late night podcast, Bucket Naked, hilarious, funny. If you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. It's available at Truth Entertainment Films on YouTube. It's also available on my Facebook page and the website for it. Also, truthentertainmentfilms.com. It's available there too for Bucket Naked Podcast. Also, check out Deep Throat Conversations with the homie Miguel, aka Mr. Bend Over, bitch. This stuff is hilarious as hell. He doing this thing and it's growing. Also, he got Jet Fly clothing. So if you're looking for to get your personalized t-shirts made, or you just like the brand Jet Fly, go holler at him. He'll definitely make you some fly gear. He's dope. He's affordable. He's reasonable, and he do very good work. So shout out to Miguel, Jet Fly Clothing. Also shout out to my bro out there filming right now. Walls of Jade is going on. He's out there grinding as always, making things happen. Constantly working with the actors and actresses. So shout out to that. And B, I want to ask you before we jump into the news.
Yes, sir.
What's new for you in your world, man? Like, what is there something you got going on, or some big moves you about to make, or anything like that that's popping that you're about to go ahead and transition into? I know you've changed jobs, and now you're working at a place you really, really, really enjoy it and different things like that. So,
I think what's new for me is just the settling in part, right? So, and we had conversations before to where it's like, it's always been for me telling you like, man, I can't wait to figure this part out, or I can't wait to get to this point to where things start happening. You know what I mean? And now I'm at a point to where things are starting to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I think the process of I'm at the part to where it's all coming in now. And now that it's all coming in, it's all right. It's time to utilize what you worked what you learned and what you worked yourself up to get to the space. So it's just that. Being a dog owner, that's because y'all, and keep it real, you probably would never expect me to like own a pet. You know what I mean? Because it's not
I was shocked you made it, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know how I am about my time and just spending a lot of time on one thing, and it's just like, being a pet owner and just traveling, man. Going to Barbados soon, so that'll
there
be
you go,
interesting.
stunting again on a nigga. I'm going to Barbados. Like it's nothing. Going to Barbados, just.
Okay, so I've been trying to go to Barbados since 2019, and I haven't had the chance to because things just got in the way. Milestones happen to marriages, funerals, just shit like that. So I really had to put it on the back burner, and then the pandemic happened. So I told myself, once we get out this pandemic and once shit starts shaking, that's when I'm about to start shaking my ass in Barbados. So that's where I'm gonna be at. So I'm definitely going there. So I'm looking forward to that and just living life, man, and just starting to learn and just taking new experiences and learning and growing and just not taking myself too seriously. So
that's dope, bro. That's dope. That's amazing. That's always a hard part is, we struggle, but we figure out how to solve and figure out our partners and relationships and people we with. But as always, the most important relationship that sometimes we as people, we struggle with the most, and that's relationship with ourselves. And it's an everyday battle with me. I'll be like, damn, nigga, you can't figure you out. I'm like, nah, nigga, I done changed up what I like now. I like something different, or I don't feel like doing it.
Right, and that's the motherfucker right there because, imposter syndrome creeps in, and it's just like, shit, you know what I'm saying? And you just start questioning yourself like, man, like, how did I get here? Am I worthy of being here? Why am I here? Like, you keep like, it's like you're manipulating yourself into thinking like you're not worth being in spaces like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like everyone's deserving of that. You know what I mean? You just gotta just take one step at a time and not take yourself seriously and just ride, man.
That's the most dopest thing is, well, not dopest thing, but understanding is when you understand that it's one thing, and it hurts when somebody else tricks you out of your position. But when you realize you tricked yourself out of an opportunity, where you tricked yourself out of your position, a position you could have been in, that hurts the most. Like I hate it more than anything. So yeah, you're right. It's the growth and it's the understanding of yourself. So we about to jump into the news. The news. Yeah, I've been hitting them notes working on it.
Oh man.
Russia and Ukraine, and them motherfuckers in Ukraine is giving Russia the work.
Listen, them Ukrainians, man, my hat's off to them. My hat's off to them. And it's crazy because when I was out, I went to a restaurant called Costa Bar. It's like a rum bar. It's in DC, and I met a Ukrainian there, and we was just kind of interacting and sharing stories and stuff. And his family lived in Ukraine, but he stayed in DC. I was just telling him how much I appreciate the fact that Ukrainians was actually, fighting for themselves and fighting
up for themselves,
their freedoms against the Russians. So my hat's off to them, man. The stories I've been hearing, that what they've been doing in them, they badass, man, for real.
Yeah. I've been sitting there checking it out, peeping at how they're standing for themselves. Like they're asking for help and they need help, but they're not begging and they're fighting. And amongst all the propaganda about their president is so horrible and all this different stuff, you know what's more horrible than their president? Vladimir Putin.
Yes. Yes. But the Zelensky, it's interesting because I think our impression of being a political leader is someone that's actually came from a place of affluence and that was actually groomed by affluent people to take the position, right? Whereas you have someone like Zelensky who was a comedian / actor, right? And he came through the ranks to actually be somewhat of a figure to like a revolutionary figure. It's really amazing how, leaders are, they're not formed, but they're forged when adversity come in and shit. So I think that's really dope. And it's really a dope reflection of who Zelensky is.
That's true. I learned something today. You know how news work on both sides of the equation, or all sides of the equation. Like with this whole thing, like everybody, it's either fake news or it's propaganda, and it's hard. I was listening to. They were doing a report about the whole racist thing in Ukraine. The whole thing with against blacks and whatnot, and a Ukrainian was on a radio station, and he was like, yes, there is a lot of racism still in Ukraine, especially towards blacks. He said, but that's not in the major cities. It's more centered in the smaller outreach, small towns and everything else. He was like, because they just don't see blacks. The only thing they know is a stereotypical thing that is pumped out through the media, through different things and stuff like that, with their view of blacks are. And so he was saying that to say, so Ukraine is not a racist or a prejudiced country, but Ukraine has a lot of prejudice and racist people.
Well, the world has a lot of prejudiced racist people.
Yeah, so I was like, that sounds like America to me.
That sounds like everywhere to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right. So that with that being said, as far as the Russia-Ukraine thing, I see. I don't think Russia thought that they were gonna fight as hard. I don't believe Russia thought Ukraine was gonna put up the fight they put up.
Yeah. They just thought they was gonna go over there and bully them, and we on day 30 now.
Yeah. Like Ukraine, like nah, my G. So they fighting. Them fools are sitting there driving off with tanks, attaching them to regular farm tractors and driving.
There was a Ukrainian that was carrying a landmine from one part of the field to the other with a cigarette still in his mouth. And that was just the most gangster shit I've seen. And there was a Ukrainian woman that gave the seeds to this Russian soldier, and I think I'm paraphrasing this, but she told the soldier, take these seeds, keep them in your pocket, because when they kill you, a tree will grow in place of your dead body. And that was the most gangster ass shit that I heard. That was like a bar. That was like a rap bar. You know what I'm saying? That sounded like a bar, man. But that just goes. That speaks to the resilience and what they doing over there, and that's just dope. You know what I mean? It's dope that they doing that shit.
Quick question: do you think something was to happen here? Would Americans band together and fight for their country, or do you think most would run for it and think about their own safety and protection of their own, would they stand up for their country? Regular citizens, not our soldiers, but our regular citizens.
Depends on what the threat is. I mean, it's kind of hard to answer that. Like initially, I thought no, but then again, no. I think in the face of adversity, if you see some fucked up shit, we'll band together and fight against that fucked up shit. But it depends on what the fucked up shit is. You know what I'm saying? So I think it just takes some type of circumstance for us to rally together as individuals and do it. And it's possible for us to do it, but it would have to be something that's like not self-interest or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's like it's possible, but I don't see it not in this climate. No.
All right, so next up on the news, we got a person we'll probably talk about later, maybe, but the game on Drink Champs. Did you see him on there with Nori and DJ?
I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I saw the clips. But I would have to fill me in on it though. Fill me in on it.
Well, first off, he said 50 didn't write all the songs. He said 50's claim he wrote on it. That's one of the things he said. Then he said he was better. He was better than Eminem. Then he said that he wrote "What Up, Gangsta."
This sounds like two truths and a lie, huh? no, I'm joking aside. I don't think he wrote "What Up, Gangsta." I don't believe that. That's the one. That's the one. If I would be like, if I don't have to take a guess and put some or not put some thought into it, they ain't right that. I don't believe that. I refuse to believe that. That part I don't believe.
How does wait? For one, B. How this nigga about to get dropped because he can't write a song on hooks to save his life, but he wrote "What Up, Gangsta" and Hate It or Love It.
Hey, I don't know,
I mean, but it's game. So do we really ever take anything else? Plus, the whole Kanye West did more for him in his career than Dr. Dre did.
I mean, okay. I can see it from his perspective on that. Like, I can see how he feel that way. But both. I'm trying to be impartial to this situation because that's his experience. He can speak on that. You know what I'm saying? I think Ye did. I don't know who am I to compare it to, but I think both. Like you could say, like Ye did. He did for Game 2. You know what I mean? It could have been some behind the scenes that we don't know that he did for him. So
that's true. That's true. I mean, it is a game, and I always take everything he says as a half truth, not the whole truth. And it's just the timing. I feel like Game is searching for it. And this is me personally, and I could be wrong, my personal thinking, but me analyzing the situation. I feel like after he got left off out of the Super Bowl, he was bitter, and it was like all eyes is on him, and he's trying to seize the moment and keep the eyes and the moments on him. And so he likes to say outlandish things to keep the attention to him. So if I say,
did you watch the Drink Champs interview?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
What did you think of it? Because I didn't get a chance to watch it. But
I would
like to get your take on it.
My take on it, the whole thing as a whole was full of half truths. And a lot of his truths in his mind, but I don't think it's the whole truth. I feel like Game's one of those people, he'll express to you how he feels and what he thinks from his perspective. And he may believe it with all his heart. And then when he sits down and talks to somebody, then and they break it down to him exactly everything or their perspective or whatever. Then he's like, oh, okay, my bad. Like, my bad, it was this, right. Or I meant this, or I meant that. Like, he'll come back and clarify later on, just you wait, like, well, what I meant was, well, yay, right now.
So, when he was in that interview, you could see some of the shit he was saying, like, Oh, there's some truth to that. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's not. You can't take 100% of it at face value, right?
Yeah, you can't take everything
Okay.
100% at face value. Is that the right way to say it? You can't take what somebody says. He's one of the people you can't take everything at face. Yeah. So I believe that is like, but that's always been Game's biggest like issue. It's just hard to take him all the way serious, like to take him at face value. Like you feel like he's not giving you the whole truth.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jamar,
Yeah.
Shy Money XL said it was a lie. That Game lying. He said it's an all lie to get attention. He lying.
Right. And Shaw and 50 is beefing, so Shaw Money XL gains nothing out of it. Him and 50 hate each other right now.
So that shit was all attention then. All attention.
Yeah, it's all attention driven. He wanna be in the news. He about to drop an album. He want to sell records. He got left out of halftime show.
But I have a question. We can't like if sell records how? Because like if he sell, you see what I'm saying? Like don't somebody like make money off his like sales?
Oh yeah, he owed the chick he can't make no money off his record sales or nothing like that because he owed that girl that money.
Okay, I know I wasn't tripping. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I didn't think he wrote "What Up, Gangsta." I'm like, nah, I don't do that.
I didn't believe "Hate It or Love It." If he had said another song, so he tried to say what I think. This is what I mean by half truth. Before we jump on to the next thing, I think the half truth of it is that he says in his mind, he says that he had like the beat for "Hate It or Love It," whatever case first before 50 did or whatever case, right?
Yeah.
50 got a hold of it, and I'm thinking 50 got a hold of it, heard the beat, wrote the hook, everything else, and was like, "Bow, here's a song, Game. Now you add your parts to it, whatever case."
Mm-hmm.
That's my worst case guess estimation of trying to give Game some credit to it.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Oh my God. Okay, I'm listening. I had a funny story alert. Right, I saw like a tag to my leather coat on the in Zen's cage, right? And I had to run in my closet, but that was just the paper. That wasn't like the tag. Oh, but it was the same type of branded. Oh man, listen, man. Hey, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, but I'm listening though. Hey, y'all gotta understand. You know, Jamar, I know you do. When you're a dog owner, you know, you don't wanna be like, you know, you gotta keep top of your shit, but not to stay off topic, but. Yeah, definitely. I feel you, man.
Oh, bro, I'm a pet owner. I know. You see something, you be like, whoa, wait a minute.
I'm like, wait a minute. That's. I was like, oh, okay. But my jacket was hanging up in the closet. She couldn't have got it. Okay. So I'm cool.
So next thing.
Yes.
Megan Thee Stallion versus Carl. I can't think of the brother's name for nothing on top of his last name.
Oh, Crawford.
Crawford.
Yeah.
The back and forth between them. She called him a pill popper. Freaking everything else is saying that I think she was still on one more album, but he says he owes her two more albums.
Yeah,
and she tried to get out of his contract.
Okay, so like, what do they do now from this point? Like, because now it was just a whole bunch of back and forth. So now it's like, what's the next?
What's
step?
next?
Like
court?
You know what I mean? Like, okay, so and maybe you could break this down for me. Okay, so what's the next? What would be the next option at this point for Crawford? What would we have to do for this? What can he just
keeps her in court? He goes to court and tells her that last. Wait, me and you both agree to this. Megan Thee Stallion knows how to make a hot song. Megan Thee Stallion knows how to make hot ass garbage albums.
Mm-hmm.
We can both agree to that.
That is a fact.
Like her. She can drop a hot song, maybe two, but the rest of the album is boo-boo. Like, so I think his thing was this last album she dropped was really a mixtape. And she was trying to go technically by the terms of what an album is. It has to be more than 45 minutes for it to be considered an album. So many songs are 45 minutes. He's suing her in court like, no, that was a garbage ass. He said it was a garbage ass mixtape. And he was like, you put 8 songs and like 5 skits on it. And then try to pass it off as an album.
Okay, so like what does Meg have to do now from this point on?
Meg has to they're going to fight it out in court. Meg's probably going to lose because a lot of record execs said she's probably going to lose. She'll lose and she still has to drop 2 albums and 2 technically whatever case album, and 2 real albums by real whatever case standards. I think the hard part is that I think Carl Crawford probably is an asshole, right? But who would Meg Thee Stallion be without Carl Crawford sinking $2 million into her and blowing her up? And then Rock Nation comes along, and she's like, oh, and then she jumps with them. Now she's trying to ditch the homie that blew her up.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's like, I kind of helped you get here. You kind of,
follow the contract. So again, this rolls into the next thing. What is, and I hate to say this, and women probably bash me for it, but Meg has realized that playing the victim in every situation gets people to ignore facts and just follow their emotions of sympathy.
I can't go that far. I'm not going to sit up here and say, like, I'm not going to brand her with that. That's kind of nasty. That's nasty. You know what I'm saying? That I'm not going to go that far to say she's playing the victim, because I don't know. There's always sides to a story, but I wouldn't go that far. That's kind of nasty. You know what I'm saying? Especially with this court case coming up, I wouldn't do that.
That's just a Carl Crawford in her situation. She's trying to play the victim. Like, you signed it.
Yeah.
You signed a contract, and now you like, oh, I don't like. Now it's like, oh, I don't want to abide by it, or I don't like the contract, and it's like, so you did me dirty. You took advantage of me because, at that time, we're losing my mom and different this, da, 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 da. And so I feel, I was a young girl, whatever case and stuff. And so now she tried to play that victim to get out of her contract.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate, that they got to be on both ends of that situation. When does this start? Like, when does the court? When the court case start for that?
I don't know. I don't know. She called him out and told him he was hiding behind Jay Prince.
Hey, I don't think
you gonna hide behind somebody. I guess Jay Prince is a good one.
I mean, I don't think they should take that shit to Twitter either. Like, you know what I mean? If you know you in the middle of a litigation with somebody or middle of a court case with somebody, then I wouldn't take it on social media. I just shut the fuck up and let the courts do the court.
Let the courts decide it.
This is my opinion, though. That's just me.
So now the whole Tory Lanez thing is interesting, because more people are coming out and starting to more of the facts are coming out, and people are starting to, I don't want to say ride with him, but believe her less.
I mean, we talked in this situation off here, and basically I was just going to say, at this point, everyone's going to have their stance on who to believe. So I was just going to wait till the court case play out, because
that's what I mean. Information, not the information from Tory, but the information from the court fact, from the proceedings, to see if they've taken it to trial, or more of that information is starting to leak out.
But it's about to go to trial on the 8th. I mean, on the 5th.
Right. All the pre stuff. Like, say, like, for example, that she was like, I got shot in the foot. Then it comes out that she didn't get shot in the foot. And then it comes out, like, you find out more stuff, like, she never told nobody when she talked about it, talk what Tory did, she never told nobody that she was drunk in the back seat fighting with her friend and kicked the window out.
Yeah, but, I'm just going to wait till the 5th to where once the court thing come out and all the information come out.
Oh yeah, I get it. Where your stance is, I want to see more. I want to see more of the court things come out. So it's just more and more things, like even a gun from the court thing proceedings, that they couldn't use Tory Lanez, the gun, in this situation, because nothing came back at all putting Tory Lanez to shooting that gun. Plus, a witness says the flash from the gun didn't come from his direction. So is more and more people are thinking, I don't know what she did, but Rihanna, Beyonce, Drake, and a few other people unfollowed her on social media.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So I don't know, Meg, and so the whole thing is now going to be like everybody's trying to dump on Meg because of everything that's coming out. But I feel like when you use sympathy to utilize you, to get you further and to enhance what you got going on, the same thing, you should be held also accountable if things come along. And it's not like you can't always, like you can't ride the wave, but then when there's the negative parts of there's the negative parts that come along with it. Now you want to be like, you don't want to own it. Like Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, I'm not going to go that far to suggest that she's doing that though. I won't.
How about this? My thing, you won't. My thing from it is, I'm gonna stand on it and sit there and say, I feel that's what she's doing. And from my perspective of just seeing it, not yours, but mine, I feel like it's that when you take a moment to capitalize off of something, you got to take the ups and the downs that come with it. Kim Kardashian lived her whole life in public and became a billionaire off of publicizing every step of her life. So now the ugly parts that come along with her life, like her crazy ass husband is out there in the public, this is the parts that come along with it. You take the good with the bad.
Yeah. So man, that
I don't gotta like it for it to be true. It's just what it is.
Let me ask you. Okay, so that whole situation is interesting, and what I mean by interesting, I mean like, what the fuck is interesting?
Kanye?
How did it go from that to D.L. Hughley getting like, dude? Did you see him? Did you read about the dude? Who's the dude that tried to like London?
Run up on D.L. Hughley, however the fuck you say his name. Some rapper dude that be hanging around Kanye or got to hang around Kanye.
What is up with that? Like, you just
attention
walking up to people with their families? Like, people need to get punched in the face.
No. He walked by him and kept walking by him, and then D.L. Hughley he was in the bathroom. D.L. Hughley went in the bathroom, and they had an exchange in the bathroom with each other. That's what D.L. Hughley said. And then dude went online and made it like he checked or whatever case D.L. Hughley. I will say
that shit is weird, man.
That is weird. That is weird. But why is D.L. Hughley speaking on Kanye shit? Just like why is dude in Kanye shit?
Are you right?
Why?
Like, listen.
Yeah, you want attention. This is what happens when.
Yeah.
Because who the fuck was thinking about D.L. Hughley before this?
No. Yeah.
Nobody was.
I mean, it's just like where all this shit is coming from, man. It's all performative though. Like,
because Kanye gives. What is Kanye giving all of them people right now? Attention. A bigger name, a bigger spotlight.
Yeah, you're right.
Skeet. We didn't know who. No one thought shit about Pete Davidson. I didn't even know that nigga was on Saturday Night Live until the whole Kanye West thing, and all of a sudden he get a Super Bowl commercial after beefing with Kanye.
This is Kanye's fault though. This is Kanye's fault. This is all his fault, because you can't just fucking make a fucking video about fucking decapitating me and thinking I ain't about to get at you. Like, nah, maybe the I'm in bed with your wife thing was a little out of line. Maybe that was a little bit out of line. You know what I mean? I can see how people would think it would be out of line.
Getting his ass whooped.
but like, you made a video about killing me. Like, what am I supposed to do? And I've been quiet all this time. So it's like,
bro, you can't send me a message, talk about we should talk, meet up and talk, whatever case, and da. You make yourself look bad, and I've been looking out for you. But then messages before you was like, I'm in the bed with your wife. Like, no, nigga, like, no, there's no.
Okay, Kanye said location, and Pete gave him the location where he was at.
Did he?
He did. That's where he told him. I'm at the whatever the place was. Yeah, that was.
Well, if Kanye ain't pull up, then shame on Kanye. I'd have pulled up.
You know, this is great.
No,
we're talking about this too.
That's
funny.
Kardashian.
Man, listen. All of this is.
This shit is hilarious.
It's hilarious, man.
Okay, so moving on, as we got to move on. The Queen. Is it Ketanji? Ketanji? Supreme Court Justice nominee. Is it Ketanji Brown Jackson?
Yes.
Ketanji?
Yes.
Shout out to that Queen.
Shout out to her, man. Salute.
Shout out to
she
her.
Got the votes. Hey. Oh yeah, let's talk. You know, this is my favorite part. I like this shit. So, did you see the speech that McConnell did on like him not voting for her or whatever. You saw that shit?
Right. No, I didn't see it.
Anyway, McConnell came out and basically said that he wasn't going to support her nomination. And it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, they got the votes. Manchin just was on record today saying he'll vote for her. So, yeah, expect for her to get confirmed because they got the votes.
Nothing on her. They have nothing on her. So they had to talk about like current topics that like had nothing really to do with what thing was going on. Like, okay, maybe if critical race theory ends up in the Supreme Court or whatever case to go over or whatever, like maybe she'll have some say on that. She'll have say or a part of a say on that. But everything else was just like, they just was trying to like bring up talking points, just use it as for voting points. It's just about getting voting points.
And if you really think about it, just think about it. Like, this whole process was like that. Because at the end of the day, people are going to tend to vote partisan anyway. And then the Democrats is going to end up having their votes to confirm her. So it's like, what's the point of having this like on TV? It's like grandstanding and performative. Like, it's bullshit to me because it's like, at the end of the day, people going to vote for who they vote for. And she clearly got the votes. So it's like, to your point, it's like, what was the point of all this? You know what I'm saying?
What's the point of all this? Like, she gonna win. Y'all know she gonna win. If y'all wouldn't be less politically motivated and more about the country, there's nothing wrong with the woman. Like, you can't even call it bias. They try to attack her some scores to get into the whatever scores to see if you can handle
LSAT scores.
Yeah. They try to attack her scores. Nigga, she graduated. What's it called? Magna cum laude.
Summa cum laude.
Summa cum laude.
Yeah, summa cum, because cum laude, magna cum laude. I think summa cum is the highest. I think.
Okay. Yeah. She graduated.
Yeah.
Summa cum. She graduated summa cum laude. Like, bro. Was it Harvard or Yale? Fuck, I had it written down and I don't have it in front of me. From Harvard,
wasn't it?
I think it was Harvard.
That's what I thought it was Harvard.
So what the fuck her LSAT scores got to do with anything?
They don't, because it didn't have anything to do with Amy Coney Barrett getting sworn in. It didn't have anything to do with Kavanaugh getting sworn in. It didn't have anything to do with the other Gorches getting sworn in. So the answer is nothing. They just use that because she's black. So
hey,
basically what she got it anyway. She got the vote. Fuck them.
She got the votes. Fuck them. So shout out to that queen. I know she's gonna go off and do great things. Whether I agree with her or not on everything, I know she's gonna go off and do great things. But I know a brother who was not a king, and his wife over there getting him put up in some hot shit while he's sitting there in the hospital. Clarence Thomas.
Listen. How you got up here? You out here blowing up the spot, and I'm out here down bad from God knows what in the hospital, and you blowing up the spot. What is the fuck is wrong with you? Like, how you out here? You commit. Remember that scene on The Wire where fucking Stringer came out and was like, "Are you taking notes during a fucking conspiracy?" That's what Clarence Thomas said to her when he got out the hospital. When he read that New York Times article, and he was there like, "Jenny, are you texting a fucking conspiracy?" Oh man, that I laughed when I saw that. I said, "Oh, you."
Bro, you couldn't make this up. Like, wow. Yo, some of her text messages was like, wow. I mean, not all of them are super incriminating as far as really, really on Trump, but it makes it look bad. It makes her husband look worse than Trump.
It makes her husband look worse because they did a vote. Remember, the Supreme Court voted to not let the archive, or Trump took it to the Supreme Court on the National Archives.
The only person that said no
was Clarence Thomas. But you can say no, that's fine, and write a dissent. But he didn't write a dissent. He just said no. So now with these text messages coming out, it's kind of like, oh. And the text messages were part of the discovery, the White House, whatever case and stuff. Those were all protected. They try to protect those text messages
under that. And it all got leaked out. Like, come on, man, you dirty. You dirty.
Oh man, just Thomas
Clarence
out here in the hospital down bad. His wife out here fucking up.
Who you can trust that hoe. Real quick, last up as we wrap up sports, as we wrap up news, before we jump to sports. Some of the states are cutting the gas tax for when people are filling up, so it should help ease the burden. Connecticut's doing it, Georgia, Maryland, and I may be missing one. Who?
Virginia's. I know Youngkin. It's funny that you mentioned that. I was watching the news. Now I think Youngkin, Virginia's going to do it as well.
Right. I know Ohio can't do it because our gas tax mostly goes to funding not only state troopers, but the Ohio Department of Transportation. So they can't do it because if they do that, then it fucks up.
Stay away from their jobs. Yeah.
Cuts a whole bunch of jobs, but it cuts two very vital funding for two vital departments because both of those get 90% of their funding comes from the Ohio gas tax.
Yep. Oof. That's rough.
So, yeah, Ohio. I'm sorry, people in Ohio who was hoping Ohio was going to do it and the gas prices go down. No, not going to be able to do it.
How much is gas back home? How much?
401. 401 by me.
It's $4.27 here.
Yeah. Woo.
So
good thing you got that big city transit system.
That sucks too, but that's another story for another day. Another story for another day, man.
Wait. Tell the people listening who are gonna hear this how you reacted when Biden came on TV about the gas tax.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Goddamn Joseph, Mr. Joseph Robinette Biden. Listen, you talk about coming back to work, and gas is like $4.27. Oh man, I wanted to throw my TV out the window when I heard that, man. Talk about coming back to work. Listen, I ain't riding with Trump or nobody, but nobody got to bump the brakes on that. You know?
Hey, B was like, hey, you was sitting there like gas is going up. Well, I expected it. We're at war. Takes another sip, and I think we should all go back to work. What?
Hey man, it's summer. Gas prices is climbing up. You can't be doing that right now.
Your ass gonna be at the office.
Yeah, be at the office.
Fill her up on pump 6. Drive your ass to the office after you just spent the past 2 years working from home. I don't feel no sympathy. I hope if you feel real good working from home and not enjoying your nice view from your apartment with your concierge, nigga.
I thought we were supposed to be a team here. We're supposed to be friends. We're supposed to. You're supposed to. You see what I'm saying, JJ? Like, where's the love here? You're supposed to want me to win. My wins are your wins, Jamar.
No, man. No, I don't have a concierge. You do.
And for the record, I do come tell you to come visit anytime.
I can't take the concierge with me.
No, you can't do that. But you're still welcome to come down. Come visit.
Man, we jumping in these sports, B. We gonna jump into these sports.
Let's jump into these sports.
Bye, Baker.
So there's nothing he can do. There's no room for him. No chance.
Oh, Cleve, there's no room for him on the Browns.
Obviously not. Okay, so obviously not. Browns aside, because for obvious reasons.
So somebody pick him up.
Like who?
Tampa Bay said he could back up Brady.
So he's not going to be he wouldn't be a starter then.
Only chance he got left.
So basically, we're ruling out that he's going to be a starter.
No, he's got Seattle. One hope. Seattle. One. You only get one chance to not miss your chance to blow when opportunity comes.
Seattle maybe. That's probably the only team I can see him.
Seattle. Seattle. That's his only shot. And I like Baker. I do. I love the bravado. I like that he's an asshole. I didn't like when he planted that flag in the middle of Ohio State's field. But hey,
listen, we deserve that. You know, as a Buckeyes fan, he got his comeuppance because we did something to them the previous year. So, you know, that was just payback. You know, good old payback. I wouldn't even, you know, it's just this the letter and I don't know.
Wait. In hindsight, he wasn't wrong about the letter. He knew he was gone.
I don't like. He's not bad. He's not terrible. He's not terrible. He's not good either, but he's not terrible.
So,
right?
Real quick.
Yes.
So you disagree? You disagree with the letter? Also, you thought it was premature?
Yeah, I thought it was a little. I thought it was premature and tacky to me. Like, come on, man. Come on. To me,
I mean, them niggas jumped on a private plane and flew to Texas. And wait, flew to Houston, Texas, where Baker lives also, to go see Deshaun Watson. And then they flew back, man. And then Deshaun Watson told them no. Listen, and then they jumped back on the plane and flew to Houston.
Teams that's been going to other quarterbacks behind these quarterbacks for years. That's the business. Yo, you know the game. Y'all know the game. Y'all know that, like, that's the game, Jamar, right? That ain't the first time a team did that.
Yeah, so he played the game too. He was like, all right. So he did his letter. And then at first, Cleveland was and then Cleveland was like, we need an adult in the room, right? Mm-hmm. So after they said that, and then Deshaun Watson told him no, they're like, well, we still believe we have a future with Baker. This nigga was like, what? No, trade me. So it all worked out for Deshaun Watson. He got $230 million.
It all worked out for Cleveland. They got a quarterback.
Now, poor Baker, I mean, he's going to get traded.
Hey. And we still don't know the who yet, right?
Hey, wait a second. What would be the worst place he could get traded to? Not because of playing time, but what could be worse than playing in the city of Cleveland? Like, where could they send him? Where?
Send him to Dallas.
To Dallas?
Look,
send him to Dallas.
We ain't got to do all that. We ain't got to do all that.
Yes.
We ain't make no offseason moves. At least I didn't see Dallas making any offseason moves. Did y'all see any Dallas making any offseason moves? Any postseason moves?
Freeing up cap for Baker. Oh, wait, you did make a move, and then he told you no.
Oh, right. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep. I know what player you're talking about.
He did make a move, and you told him no.
Yep. So, there it is. So, oh, man. But this isn't about the Cowboys. This is about that Browns quarterback, right? Deshaun Watson. And his Teddy.
You know what? That was a nice transition back. That was very nice transition back. This is about Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
it's not about
top,
Dakota.
Right?
This isn't about Dakota. Yeah, it's not about Dakota Prescott.
Yeah.
Dakota. Who the hell names their mixed son Dakota?
Listen, man. You know, my friend's nephew name is Dakota, but he's white. So he's like white Mexican. He's biracial. But outside of that, I don't know any Dakotas. Like, no, that's the only Dakota I know is him.
Yeah. So we're not gonna jump too much into Deshaun Watson. I'm gonna let it play out on the courts and everything and save my opinions. We had our conversation before. Off camera.
Now I'll say this. Let me ask you this. Now that Deshaun Watson is in Cleveland, what is the shakeup in the AFC North? What do you see? How do you see that playing out?
I believe Cincinnati was an anomaly. Okay. So I believe Cleveland, number one. I believe Baltimore gets back to being Baltimore at number 2. Cincinnati drops to number 3. And Pittsburgh, yeah. I mean, anytime you put your faith in Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. I feel you on that. I think I feel you on It's going to be interesting, that AFC North, though. It's going to be real interesting.
So, let me ask you this. The next thing. Kyrie can play in NYC.
Oh, man. This is, okay, so, listen. He good then, right?
He Gucci.
Okay. Right in time before the playoffs. So, yeah, we rolling there, right? So, who you got in the East then?
You said who I got coming out the East?
Who you think gonna be, that team in the East?
Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Ben. My mental health and feelings are hurt.
And
Simmons.
I have not been paying attention to the NBA all season, but
I'll wait to the playoffs. I
will watch the playoffs.
I think, although I'm not gonna count out Giannis, I won't count out Giannis.
Right.
Giannis is Milwaukee. Giannis. If Giannis wasn't Giannis, he'd be the MVP this year. Because it's almost like that. The LeBron fatigue, where LeBron's like the best player every year. So when he shows up and is the best player again, we're like, oh man, he's great, he's amazing. But this guy, we're going to give it to him because he's not LeBron.
Right.
So Giannis is doing the same thing, if better, because his shooting percentage and his other stats are up. But we're tired of it. So New York, Brooklyn can win it all. I don't believe in James. Wait, it's James Harden. It's about to be the playoffs.
It's Philly, right? Philly.
Yeah. Do we really want to believe in James Harden in the playoffs ever again?
Nah, I'm not even going to go that far. Not even going to put that thought in my head.
I know my brother is going for Cleveland.
Cleveland's pretty good, right?
They're good.
No fact, even though they lost last night.
Our Cleveland's pretty good.
Yeah. So I'm wishing for Cleveland. I'm rooting for them. But we don't believe you. We need more people.
The Browns have Amari Cooper too. So
there's a reason why Jerry let Amari Cooper go. We're not stupid. Quit making it like they got a plus. Listen, that was a finesse. This Dougler gonna be like the Browns got Amari Cooper. Knowing he a Dallas fan and you was like, he can go.
I don't know what the Cowboys are gonna do next year. I have no idea. Man.
This nigga just sold the Browns a Ford Escort, but said, "But yo, it comes with a sunroof."
Hey, the Browns got Deshaun Watson though, man. So they should be nice. They should be somewhat. It'll be a competitive AFC North. So. You been keeping up on the Final Four?
You said what? Yeah.
Final Four.
Zaga got bounced last night. I was happy about that.
Yeah, I had them winning. That fucked my shit up.
You never supposed to pick Gonzaga winning it all. They trick people.
I didn't have them winning it all. I just had them winning to this point, but I didn't have them really going all the way like that.
Who you got winning it all?
I got Duke.
Man, if Coach K go out like that, I can respect it. Winning it all for his last year.
I'm actually in first place on our bracket, dude. I don't know if you saw that.
You in first place?
Mm-hmm.
Did you fill it out? Did you fill out your ballot while you was high?
Probably. Probably. So, but I'm first place though.
I ain't gonna hate. I can't hate on that, brother. I can't hate. I won't hate. Can't stop, won't stop. Take that. So, B, we're going to jump into, before we get to our main topic. Oh, two more things real quick. Stephen A. Smith is one of the most annoying fuckers in the history of sports talk, radio, internet, TV, whatever. Fact or fiction?
He's interesting. I won't say annoying. He's interesting though. He's definitely, he's not forgettable. Skip Bayless is kind of more annoying to me, but
Skip can be annoying. Skip's a hater, yeah. But Stephen A. I
don't think Stephen A. could be annoying when it comes to Cowboys. Because I'm a Cowboys.
You a Cowboys fan?
Aside from that, he's interesting though. He's interesting.
He's always yelling. He's always like this. No, you can't do this. You can't. bro, they could be talking about somebody wanting tennis. Oh my goodness, the nerve of her to win it. I'm like, this nigga
that's part of the persona, man. Like hey, people sell themselves all the time. You got to sell yourself as a package.
We tune in and tell this nigga we don't want to hear him no more. Like, I'll be like, I can do it. If Stephen A was off TV, would you miss him?
I mean, I don't really watch that much TV like that anyway. So probably the only thing I watch, like, I don't watch a lot of TV now. I used to watch like the political shows and shit when Trump was president, because that was like entertaining. But I wouldn't miss it because I don't watch a lot of ESPN TV like that. Like, I'll listen to a podcast on like sports and shit here and there, but I don't watch a lot of TV anyway, so I wouldn't miss them.
I wouldn't miss them. But I'm like you, I'm not into a whole bunch of TV, but like I got my shows. I'm like, we're both all the same. I got my set shows I watch.
I definitely got my Snowfalls, my Abbott Elementaries, my shit, you know, my Disney Plus shows like the Star Wars shit, the Marvel shit. Watch South Park, you know what I'm saying? Atlanta's back now. Did you watch Atlanta last night?
No, I missed it. Oh, this is the final season, right?
Yeah, Jay, did you watch Atlanta last night?
I fell asleep during half of it. Do not spoil it. I'm so confused.
I won't.
Don't. Just next topic.
Okay. All right.
Don't do it.
It's really good, but all right. Okay. All right. So, all right.
Okay. So, have you watched that the new show about the Lakers?
No, I need to. It's on HBO Max, right?
It's good as hell.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
It's good
what
as
is
hell.
it, Jamal? What's the name of it?
I think it's something Showtime or something like that, whatever case. But it's on HBO Max, and it's about the Lakers during the Showtime Lakers
era. Yeah, that shit looks good. I'm gonna watch it.
It's good as hell, man. I was like, wow, like, hey, Magic Johnson was an a-hole. Is an a-hole, but he hit a-hole in the right way. It's like remind me of me a little bit a-hole way. Yeah. Peacemaker. I watched Peacemaker. That's my shit. Bel Air.
Bel Air. I'm just not watching. Hey, Bel Air's pretty good. I like Bel Air, man. I like the show. I'm up. I like it.
Bel Air's pretty good. What else? Of course, The Boys. The Boys is my shit. Anything Marvel. DC. It's hard to get into DC shows.
Yeah, it's hard for me to get into that shit too. I like Marvel better. Yeah.
But that Batman was raw though.
I ain't watched it yet.
You didn't watch the Batman yet?
I still ain't watching because I was gonna go watch it, right? Because I was talking to Deshaun about this, and I was like, I'm gonna go see it. And then I looked, and I was like, man, this is 3 hours. Like, and it's Tuesday. Like, I ain't gonna be able to watch it for 3 hours on Tuesday. Like, if I go like at 6, it's gonna be like 9, and then it's gonna be like I gotta go to sleep. So it's like I gotta watch it though. But I didn't realize it was gonna be 3 hours.
Yeah, you missing out on the
good one. I heard it was good though.
You missing out on the good one. It wasn't the. Okay, how about this? Without telling you much of the movie, I think he was the best Batman. That was the best Batman in costume. I don't think he was the best Bruce Wayne, but he was the best Batman in costume. It felt very believable because it wasn't like too much unbelievable stuff he did, minus the car chase. Other than that, most believable in costume Batman. Probably like third best Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
Michael Keaton is probably still the best Bruce Wayne. And then Christian Bale was a good Bruce Wayne too. But a horrible Batman, because I hated when Batman talked, when Christian Bale was him.
You know what? I kind of hate it. I kind of hate it when Batman talked. So what about Ben Affleck?
He was like he worse than Val Kilmer.
Oh man, damn. Oh damn. Damn, you put him as the worst Batman?
He was the worst Batman. And it's Ben. Right, so, J-Lo probably could have did a better job.
So my top 5 Batmans, check this out. This is not in this particular order. Got Michael Keaton, of course. And then Robert Pattinson, he's not bad, but I haven't seen it yet, so it's not fair for me to put him up there, but I'm going to put him up there because I trust him. And then I'm going to go outside the actors for him a little bit. I got Conroy. I think his name is like Bruce Conroy. He does the voiceovers in the animated series. That's the third. That's like my top 5. Then Adam West, of course. And then who was the other one I had? And then fucking damn, I forgot the other one. But that was my top 5 though. I forgot the other one. Damn.
I heard the animated voice guy gets a lot of respect. I did hear that from a lot of fans. I don't know. Would you say? I know we all topic before we jump back on the topic, but would you say that was Danny DeVito the best Penguin?
How many penguins were there? It was like 3. Like
3. It was 3.
How many penguins were there? 3. Yeah, I guess. See, I haven't seen the new one yet. So, but
the new Penguin is played by. You would not believe who the dude is that plays the new Penguin. It's the it wasn't 24. Is it Prison Break? The head guy at Prison Break, I think. I can't think of his name, but it's that show that used to come on Prison Break. Is it him? I don't know, but you would not believe it's that guy. But he's Penguin in this movie. The Penguin was okay, but he was cool. But Danny DeVito is always memorable to me. Yeah, all them Batman movies sucked. Like when they was doing it, like with Arnold and Holly Berry was Catwoman, and you had like Val Kilmer. Then you had the dude who played Robin.
Yeah, Jim Carrey. Yeah,
Jim Carrey. Riddler, and it was just like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah, and then you had Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that was like, what the fuck?
And then they made like, I ain't like that. Okay, let's go back to that movie. Then they tried to make her the niece of Alfred, and I'm like, no, that's not how it went. Like, that's the commissioner's daughter. Like, you know what I mean? And you know, I know how people be like, oh, you two into the comic. I ain't like that shit. Because they was like, I'm here for you, Uncle Alfred. And I'm like, it's fucking bullshit. That's not her uncle. Like, no, like, I hate the way they set that movie up, man.
It was
Get
booty.
Batman Forever the fuck up out of here. I'm sorry. I just went on my ring. Get that movie out of here.
Hey, remember In Living Color? Hated it.
Hey, I hated it, man. Fuck out of here, man.
Oh, man. Wait, was there something else I wanted to ask you before we jump into it? Real quick, are you feeling confident about this is for both of y'all. I know my bro behind the screen, but you feeling real confident or getting your confidence back or excited about the Buckeyes defense being back?
I have to see it first, but I hope they get back because I don't know what the fuck it was. I don't know what the fuck that was last year.
Yeah, like, I need to see it, man.
Yeah, I need to see it. Like, I need to see it in like real time for me to be like, all right. And it could be the first game. Like the first game I'll have enough. Not everything.
It depends on who they play, because normally they light load the first couple games normally, and then the real games come on the back end. So man, it just depends on who they play.
Yeah, that's true. Like I have to see. Like I'm with Jay on that. I have to see it.
Can y'all hear me?
I think Jamar may have froze up, B.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. So, B.
Okay. Yo.
We were supposed to have other guests join us by now, but they didn't. This is an interesting topic. I wanted Stroll to be here because I already know who he was going to put as his number one West Coast artist. Mm-hmm. But what we're going to do is we're going to do, for a main topic, Mount Westmore, not the group, but Mount Westmore as, of all time, the top 5, of your opinion, who should be the top 5 rappers overall from the West Coast, from California.
Man, Jamar, you know what's real funny before you get into that real quick?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, And I know what you're gonna say, but I just needed to hear you say it because I was going back over Corrupt's discography, and he has a song with Exhibit, Crooked Eye, Corrupt. You know
Off the Streets is the Mother album.
Yeah. And I'm listening to Crooked killed it, right?
Right.
But when you actually re-listen to Exhibit,
Exhibit went hard.
I gotta listen to that now.
Who do you think is a better artist, not just rapper or lyricist? Crooked Eye or Exhibit? Crooked Eye versus Exhibit.
Exhibit is a better overall artist. Exhibit.
Okay. So what area would you give Crooked the edge in?
Lyricism, bars.
Same.
Damn. Okay, never mind.
After listening to him on his earlier on mixtape stuff, and then listening to him also with Slaughterhouse, with 5 other amazing MCs, Joe Budden, Royce da 5'9", and Joel Ortiz, and each of them take turns outshining each other and pushing each other to a new level. It's hard for me it's gonna be real hard for me to pick a West Coast MC who I feel is better. I know there are some that may be better lyricists than Crooked Eye, but it's gonna be hard for me to.
Well, I'll say this: if you just give that song a listen and tell me if X didn't get him, just try.
No, X got him. I agree with you on that. X got him.
Okay, then I got another one, but I'll let you get to the topic. Okay.
No, go ahead, ask it.
Okay. Now, me and JR be arguing about this to this day. We've been arguing about this for 30 years. Who is a better lyricist? Nas versus AZ.
Oh,
AZ
on that one.
Thank you.
I'm about to roll AZ on that one.
And
Nas is a more complete rapper, but AZ is a better, as far as bar for bar, AZ is better. Nas can tell stories and put together songs and things like that way better, but AZ, if you're just going off of just lyricism, AZ's a better lyricist.
Yeah, and then out of the 20 songs that they did together, Nas never ate him on a song, man. Never, man. And me and JR go back and forth with this, but when we break it down, he can't got an argument.
Wait, but isn't Nas like the same? Like, Nas has always gotten the respect. We call him a lyricist, but we never made him be in competition as far as bar wise on song. None of the songs he's featured on.
Facts.
He always gets that pass. He's like Tupac. He's like Tupac, where it's not how they said it, it's just what they said. And that gets them away with not being always over like super amazing, dope, metaphorical, whatever case, however you want to put it, lyricist, because it's what they said.
Yeah, I have to be honest with you guys. Nas in his earlier raps, man, he had bars like just killing bars. You know, what the hell for nothing, Jesus, like all kind of just stuff that he was saying that was just so crazy. But I think after his beef with Jay, most of those bars stopped, and he just more likely it's more life stuff, real life stuff that he's dealing with and talking about. So I kind of agree with that, because I mean, again, when you look at AZ, like AZ didn't stop, like he just murders tracks, he just don't care. But Nas is more intimate, and of course, like Jay-Z said, he intricate with his lyrics, which is great. But dude, bar for bar, man, AZ got that, man.
AZ that dude, man.
AZ is the truth. I feel like how about this? I grew appreciation. This is gonna sound weird as hell, but these two groups kind of mirror each other and are both historical from their coasts in the same way. It's kind of like the Daz and Corrupt, Havoc and Prodigy effect. I look at it where like Corrupt got all the acclaim for being a lyricist and whatnot, and if you go from that time and go forward, but when you look back, you're like, Daz was spitting.
Daz was killing it.
Yeah, Daz was killing it.
And the same thing with Havoc, when you go back and you listen, be like, yo, Havoc wasn't no slouch.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, you ever remember Represent That GC? Represent that Long Beach, represent that SD. Remember that?
Yeah.
Go back and, man, Daz, oh my gosh. Man, what did he say? Standing with the cannon and the 7-trade dragon. Like this dude was just whooping niggas at random. Like he was just like, oh my god, that dude was fire.
My bad. Okay. I'm here. One of the dudes, Miguel, about to come on like in about 4 minutes. For this West Coast thing. Did you know? Quick history thing while we sit there talking away from Miguel. Quick history thing. Did you know a lot of Mobb Deep's first maybe 2 to 3 albums, Prodigy did a lot of production on it and never wanted the credit for it?
Oh shit!
I didn't know he could do. You said what, Jay?
I didn't know that.
Say that again.
Prodigy did a lot of production in Mobb Deep's earlier albums and never wanted credit for it.
What kind of production are you talking about? Like beats?
Like making the beats, him and Havoc making them together.
Wow, I didn't know that. I
know
always
that
thought that was half sound.
Right. Like, I mean, he never tried to take credit away from Half. He just was like, yo, I did. And I think I seen Havoc in an interview, like, confirm it. Like, yo, Prodigy could make beats. I tell you, somebody else you would have never thought who may produce a lot of their beats, and we would have never thought about it. It's Too Short.
What?
Yep.
Oh,
Too Short. Yep.
Yeah,
Too
really?
Short. Yeah, I didn't know either. He was like, he just never wanted credit. He said, especially back then, because like rappers weren't like, it's not the same as now where you're a producer and you're a rapper and it's like cool or you're so whatever case. He said back then it didn't get looked at that way. So he would do a lot of his beats himself and whatnot and just never want the credit for it.
Wow, I didn't know that, man. That changes things. Now I got to go back and listen to his music because
me too.
That makes me more excited about some of his stuff because he had, oh my gosh, Too Short had that sound, man. He had that Oakland sound for that time. Yeah.
Wow. I respect Shorty the Pimp. He was.
I definitely do.
Yeah, he was a real one. It's dope. I think it's like especially if you. Here's the difference between Diddy and Diddy and Dre compared to some of the other guys, like maybe even Timbaland in that group, is that it's dope when you produce and you rap, but if you produce, rap, and write your own shit, that makes it doper. Like I want to throw Kanye in there with them, but then Kanye has written some of his own stuff. Some of it.
Yeah. Some of it.
Yeah, some of it. So I think it's talented. Like J. Cole, even though we compare him to the Kendricks and the Big Sean's and some of the other guys, like he's a fucking producer too, man. He's a nice producer.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Was it through Jay-Z? Did Jay-Z let him rap first, or was it he gave Jay-Z a beat first and then he worked his way into getting the rap form?
He stayed outside of Jay's apartment for like 2 months, living outside, just waiting for him to come on.
Right. No, I mean for us to hear him, as far as us getting to hear him.
Oh, I thought he was rapping, but I don't recall him producing for Jay.
Yeah, I thought he was rapping. I don't think he ever made.
Okay, I was wondering.
Yeah, nah.
Because I think he's super, super talented. Yeah, he's got that Saturday afternoon clean up the crib music.
Yeah, but Jamar, wouldn't he be a bigger artist if he let somebody else do his music?
Yes,
I believe he would totally be a bigger artist if he didn't produce his own music.
Yeah,
I can agree with that. I think
I agree.
If especially for his singles,
facts.
I think for the songs he picked for his singles, and I think he started doing that as of lately in his career. But another guy, probably one of the most talented guys in music, is T-Pain. Write, produce, do his own songs.
Yeah.
That was pretty talented. That's pretty talented right there. And then we thought it was just the auto-tune, and then we found out the nigga could really sing.
Yeah, but he was saving money because he had to do that on his own because he didn't have the money to. I recall him saying he didn't have the bread to get producers.
Right.
So he had to start doing it on his own, which I guess that works, but it worked out for him ultimately, I guess.
it's hard. It's like if I was like, I know it's hard, like for me getting a chance to learn to produce or just watching how like B do it. Like especially with B, if you gave him a Coke 45 or a 211,
oh man,
boy,
in front of the Fruity Loop, you said B down with a 6-pack in front of the Fruity Loop.
Look, see, now we getting off topic.
That's the Be Nice days.
Them would be nice days.
Yeah,
Hey,
that ain't Brian
B,
Fields. That's
B,
Be
you
Nice.
know your dopest beat you did was the hum.
Yeah,
We gonna get That was,
man.
bro, that was your dopest beat, in my opinion, you made.
Yeah.
I think the Gun song was dope, but the hum might have been your dopest beat you made.
Yeah, that shit was litty, man.
That hum. Yeah, I was like, my nigga.
Yeah, man.
Those were the good old days, man.
Yeah, man.
Give me some Colt 45 or 211. Put him on that Fruity Loops. That nigga go to work. He be like 2 minutes and he's done.
Man,
we used to drink Colt 45 after work. Like the shit was happy hour and shit.
And
I'm a bougie beer bitch now. I'm definitely bougie beer bitch.
I'm drinking nothing but good quality IPA beer and a little bit of Stella too. You know what I mean? I gotta keep it somewhat.
The question is, could you drink a 211 now?
Yes, the only one.
The answer is no.
One.
I know.
For old time's sake.
I know that I can't. No, I would not.
I could do one for old time's sake. Like it's like a reunion. Like we should have like on what is it? February 11th every year. We need to all get like on like Zoom or something like that and all crack open. You ain't gotta finish it. You ain't gotta finish it. You just gotta take a sip. 211.
Man, I could probably do half a can before I throw up.
Does Justin still drink 211? Justin still drink 211?
He probably do.
He probably has to.
Nah, man, he had to evolve, man. Never mind. Let me not say. I don't know.
Hey, desperate times call for desperate measures, brother. I will still.
Because Uncle Terry drank Triple X till he was like 50 years old, man.
Yeah, he did. Shout out to Uncle Terry. Definitely, Uncle Terry did drink Triple. Man, ooh. What's your bougie beer go to now, B?
My bougie beer choice has to be. I'm getting it's like an IPA type beer.
Right.
I remember the name of it. It starts with an I think, but it's like in a brown. It's like in a brown bottle. I'll butcher the name, so I ain't gonna attempt to say it, but it's an IPA beer. Definitely my bougie go-to beer is an IPA now.
What about yours, Jay?
To be honest with you, I mean it's not necessarily bougie, but I drink Stella. But I don't do it like a consistent basis like that. But Stella's my go-to. Corona, my favorite. But I think if I had a choice, I would probably do like a Fatheads IPA because Cleveland, Cleveland has a lot of those out here, man, and those things are so good. They have so many different flavors, man. It's like, wow, who knew beer tastes like this? Like when we grew up, we just knew beer's malt liquor, man. It wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like flavorful and tasteful.
No, it wasn't. You wasn't drinking some taste.
I saw some Mickey's at the grocery store today.
You should have caught me some.
Bullshit, dog. I can't. When the next time I come home, I'm gonna buy some. And I still drink some. I haven't had Mickey's in a while, but Mickey's it's still hit. It's still hit.
You know what liquor you supposed to drink with Mickey's? You're supposed to drink Tanqueray with Mickey.
Ooh.
It's like a Tanqueray, and I think it's like Tanqueray and lime or something like that. You're supposed to drink with Mickey's, and the taste of the Mickey's and the Tanqueray, it like mix. Where you be like, huh? Who the fuck would have thought? And last time I had Tanqueray, I ended up smashing my neighbor and whatnot. What year was this? That was a long time back in the days at the snatch pad. You know what I mean? and then the homie the next day calls me at work. I smashed it that night. We was all drunk coming from kicking. And the homie the next day, he hit me up talking about, yo, I think the neighbors, be trying to, whatever case, come over and do something, whatever case. I was like, what? For real? Who would have thought it? Wow, I didn't know. Yeah, so
God.
that gin make you sin, man. That's why if you gonna have to really convince
the
me.
Big Easy make you sin, bro. That was
Oh,
Man,
What-
shout out to the
oh,
Big
yeah.
Easy, man. They did this.
oh.
Hey, I won a t-shirt contest at the Big Easy.
Yeah, we heard. Yeah, we heard.
I won a t-shirt
Hold on, V
contest at
wasn't
the
there?
Big Easy. No, V wasn't there yet.
That was before I came into the mix. I've heard of the Easy, but I haven't been there though.
Man, I wish I'd have known you got a chance. I knew you, but I wish I'd have got a chance to kick it with you back in them days, B.
Hold
The
on, you
Big
never went to the
Easy
Easy
was.
before?
Nah, I never been to the Easy before. That was before that was before I came in the mix though.
Oh man, the Big Easy was. Woo! Boy, oh 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 boy. Hey, E still do this to this day, I bet.
Oh man, yeah.
Smoking his beaties.
Smoking his beaties.
Mhm.
Yeah, he almost got us thrown out the club because he lit up. He gave me a beatie, so we light up the beaties. This is back when you could smoke in the clubs. We light up the beaties, start smoking. The bouncers come up there and snatch him up. We're like, oh shit! Yo, it's a beatie! It's a beatie! It's a beatie! It's not weed!
It's a beanie, see?
Hey, his hands in there. He like, it's a beanie. It's a beanie.
Hilarious, man.
Oh shit.
Bro, that shit was funny as hell. Like, we almost got kicked out the bar because this nigga wanted to sit there and have us smoking beaties. And then you find out they worse for your heart than cigarettes or whatever the case.
Oh Lord.
Yeah,
what
beanies are
type of
horrible.
paper? Oh God.
I think the paper. Yeah, I think it was the paper was whatever. I don't know. It was something with the papers, but I don't know. Those things were cool. We just smoked the little beaties.
Mhm.
I don't know what the fuck we was thinking. I mean, it looked cool because like we was smoking weed in the spot, but we wasn't. We ain't know nothing about no smoking no weed. We weren't weed smokers. Like, we the dumbasses that put weed on our steaks and cook them.
Right. We were them dumbasses. Remember we used to collect the empty liquor bottles?
Yep. Hey, when we filled up E's
Remy bottle, and he thought it was Remy, but it was water. And he tried to oh, that
do that
shit
to
was
him.
hilarious. That shit was, he was pissed.
Bro, he was
pissed
ready
for like a week.
He was pissed for
mad.
a week. You don't fucking do that. I'm like, nigga, it was empty. Why you mad? It's just water. Like,
It was just water. He was pissed.
hey, he was ready to
Oh,
fight.
man.
He was ready to fight. He was ready.
He was. That's the
Hold on,
most
what
I've
y'all
seen
do
him
with the
mad.
Remy though?
No, it was bought. Eric
It was
drunk ass forgot he drunk it all.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just drunk. Yeah, we just drunk.
And you know the Remy bottles is dark. So
Yeah.
anytime you put liquid in there, it's not gonna look whatever.
It's gonna look dark. Yeah, it's gonna look like it's some in there left. Oh, that shit was
That's
funny,
horrible.
man.
You guys are
Yeah.
horrible.
Man,
Just a bunch of young adults trying to figure it out, huh?
yes, he was, bro. We went through the missions, like missions, like trying to figure it out. The Big Easy was. Man, you never went to the Big Easy,
I don't think I went with y'all before. I'm trying to think.
but you've been to the Big Easy. Maybe not inside. You was in the park.
No, I've been there before. I just haven't been with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I've been
Yeah.
there before though. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, because Miguel about to come in. Real quick, my first time leaving when I left Youngstown to move to Columbus, like the first weekend I'm there. Eric takes me to it was a club up north, and it was called the Upper Room, right?
The upper room.
The Upper
Where's that at? Like
Room.
161?
Yeah,
that
161.
That sounds like some 161 shit. That's why I asked. That sounds like some shit that's on 161.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we go in there, and I'm young and dumb and ignorant, and so I go there with that. I ain't even gonna lie, not front or hold nobody. I'm not no super hard nigga. Like I'll fight, I'll stand up for myself. I ain't no hoe, but I ain't no run around like trying to be super hard. So, but anyways, these dudes outside fighting in the parking lot. One dude pulls out his gun, and he like his boy shouldn't get into the ass whoop. He pulled out his gun, but he not using it or nothing like that. My dumb getting fucked up going to my first. This is actually my first club too, like 21 and over club where I got in and wasn't even old enough. And I'm like, he ain't gonna use it though. He ain't gonna use it. He looked at me like,
nigga, you wildin'.
He's like,
you wildin'. Oh, nigga.
See, that's that Youngstown shit.
That's that Youngstown shit.
God.
Listen, hey, B, Jay will tell you, we go to the Big Easy. This is back in his wild days. So he had his piece on him, right?
Right.
And we in the Big Easy, we leaving in the parking lot, and I'm drunk and trying to talk to this chick, and this dude say something all crazy, and he was like, that. I was like, no, maybe you park that truck. He was like, I'll park my truck too. So I'm like, oh shit. So he started walking off to his car. So I'm like, I'm gonna whoop his ass before he get to his car. So I go running after him, and Jay grabs me real quick. Nigga, come on.
Get y'all out of here. I'm gonna ask y'all fellas a question, because I saw this on Twitter, right? And somebody was saying that people that back into parking spaces are weirdos or weird or something like that.
No,
you know what I mean? And I'm like, huh?
That's prepared.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, being from Youngstown, Ohio, you had to do how to do that. So that way, anytime some shit pop up or anywhere for that matter, you can get the hell out of Dodge. You know what I mean? That's why we do it.
We done it several times.
Exactly. Like, who the fuck wants to back up into traffic? Like, that's whack. Like, that's so. Why would I make
said that came from a safe environment? They came from a safe environment.
Like, we had to know how to. That was a requirement.
A requirement. Listen, you're not gonna catch me at Jitsos, or you're not gonna catch me at any of the bars, back there. I mean, park straight in at a parking spot. What? That's stupid.
Smokey Joe's.
Smokey Joe's. Right. Remember, we used to go. Everybody would go to the meet up on Market Street after a bar or club was let out in the and they be sitting there trying to call it Crenshaw.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
where the Sam store was at, right?
Yeah, where the Sam store was.
Yeah.
I hated that spot, to be honest, man. I really did, but people just went there. It's like, okay, wow.
Yeah, it wasn't cool. It was cool, like, but it wasn't cool. Even at the skate connection, you backed in. You ain't pulled. You backed in.
Yeah, you backed in everywhere.
Yeah,
because they fought at the skate connection, bro.
Every Sunday night.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you have to be prepared. Oh no.
Yep. You see somebody that's your boy getting their ass whooped. You're like, we ain't come together.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Youngstown was so violent, man.
I got the keys right here, nigga.
There the homie go, Mr. Bend Over, man.
It was happening. How you doing?
Yo, can you hear me, Miguel? Oh, he got his thing probably still muted or whatever.
I don't see. Is there something I need to do with his audio?
No, it's him. He got to fix his audio.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he can't hear us, but I don't know if he's just far away or his thing not turned up.
Yeah, can you shoot him a text or something? Or
yeah, I'll shoot him a text so we can get this last part started.
I'm here, Jamar. I'm just taking a little intermission real quick before we get started. I'm here though.
B is hilarious still, man.
Can we take a little small moment for this chronic break?
Oh, Jamar. Okay. I don't even know the name of it. Remember that song? It's like the last song of Snoop album.
Pump. Drop bombs.
Yeah. So I was listening to that again. Man, I gotta say, like, man, we need the man Snoop. He just had to be the best, man.
Top 5 of all time, man. I had to go back and revisit my top 5 list, and I put
he needs to be on that.
I mean, how can you not put the guy in?
Man.
The guy
who need to be on it?
Snoop. Top 5 of all time, Snoop.
Absolutely.
The only other person to freestyle an album is Jamar Darnell Harris.
When I got the liquor up in me.
No. Even before that, you remember that? What, back in what, 95?
Yeah.
You did a whole LP in one day freestyling, man. That shit was so fly. So fly. A day in the life, a day in the life, a day in the life of a PIMP. Like, what was it?
So there's no possibility of us getting the old music, huh? Of finding the old music we did.
Hell no.
Hell, man.
There
Damn, I
we
think
go.
about that shit every day. Like, damn, I wish we had some of the old shit, man.
Strong got some of it still. What's up, Mr. Bendover?
What's happening, boss?
Man, I hear y'all, but y'all sound low as fuck.
It's on your phone. It's one of the volume things on your phone. You got to turn it up.
Say what?
It's one of the things on your phone. It's your phone. You got to turn up the thing on your phone and put it on speaker. Put your phone on speakerphone instead of on what it's on.
Hold on.
In the settings.
All right, hold on.
Pop. Now you're gonna have that damn song stuck in my head.
Man, that song is so much fire, man. Like,
Drop
Snoop
bomb,
was killing it, man.
Listen to the sounds of my nigga Doggy Dog.
What about? Yeah, man, that shit was so hard. Oh my gosh. The SNOOP, Snoop, he just killed it, man.
Yeah, Snoop was that nigga. Snoop D-O-double.
So, what y'all think of that new album?
That Back on Death Row, I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah. It's got
I did not skip one song on that album.
At first, I skipped the song, and then I came back and I liked it.
Man, y'all gonna make me listen to it.
Oh, that Back on Death Row is pretty nice. It's nice.
I'm about to download it and see what it do.
Yeah. He the song with the baby, I think I skipped at first, and then I went back.
I did at first too, and then it kind of grew on me. I had to be.
It grew on me.
I didn't be turned up to listen to it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And the song,
it was a good album.
That Daddy song, I skipped at first, and then I went and listened to it. And I'm
that song hard.
That shit hit.
That shit hit, bro.
Miguel gonna have to log out and come back in if he's not hearing right. I bet you that's what it is.
Is this volume down? Because I had to turn my volume up too.
Yeah, you got to turn your volume up on your on his phone, and it's in the regular settings. Yep. Can you hear us? Or we still muffled or far away? Oh, he gonna come back in. So
cool.
B.
Yo.
What do you feel are some of the characteristics? This will help us as we're going into this topic. What do you feel, your personal opinion, is what makes a MC or a rapper complete? If you can break it down, let's say 5 categories of things that you look for in them to make you be like, okay, like I fucks with them.
You got to look for the tangibles and the intangibles, right? So the tangibles are the obvious factors. You got flow, you got delivery, you got knowing how to rhyme, like you got knowing how to put a bar together, knowing how to rap, knowing how to stay on beat. Well, that's delivery, flow. Then you got fucking knowing how to, like the vision. I'm trying to describe it, like the vision, talent, of course, like the tangible shit, like knowing how to rap, knowing how to flow, knowing how to, ride a beat, knowing how to do shit like that. Then you got the intangibles, like impact. Is what you putting out, is your contact impactful? You know what I mean? Is it, what I mean by impactful, like, is it a hit? You know what I mean? Is it a hit that attests time? You know what I mean? Can you go back and then play that shit like, oh, that's that shit, because I remember back in the day when I was first listening to it and it brought me to this place. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a matter of the tangibles, like talent, knowing how to rap, flow, and then the intangibles like impact, like impression, like shit like that.
Okay. I look for bars, impact, content. I feel your sales do matter to a degree. Like you got to be able to reach the masses. So some type of sales or massive appeal. If I'm looking for complete, like the whole package.
Oh, the whole package. Okay. Oh, that's fair. the whole
And
package.
then I said content. And then I would say the flow, delivery, that those things like matter to me. Like in a certain, and even in some of those things, there's like subcategories. Like you get like extra points from me if like you got bars and you're a dope ass storyteller.
Yeah.
Like if you can tell stories, like that's dope. Like I think that's when, like, if we were to use Nas for example, his flow is nice, his content is dope, his delivery, I mean, not his delivery, but his impact is there. And even if you in his bars, where you're like, yo, he not only can he rap and he has bars, where like you might give him for his bars like an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10, but his storytelling is probably a 10. He might be the next greatest storyteller besides
Slick Rick.
Slick Rick. Yep. Because that rewind.
Yeah, that rewind is one of the, I was about to get there. Yeah, you got me. Yeah, that rewind is one of the like top storytelling like hip hop songs like ever. That song is like dope.
That might be the greatest storytelling song ever.
Of all time. Top 5 in my
top 5. It's top 5 for sure. And I know Slick Rick got some amazing classic hits, but that rewind was just like out of this world. Where I'll never
ask you a question.
Yeah.
Is Stan a storytelling song?
Yeah, Stan's like basically. It's Eminem's like kind of he's got a lot of the things that make him. It's weird. Eminem's how do we say Eminem is like
because if Stan is classified as a storytelling song, then that got to be one of the top 5 storytelling songs of all time. Stan is.
It has to be. Yeah, it has to be. It has to be. I mean, it's probably one of the greatest songs. Period. I think you're always going to remember that song out of his catalog. And I mean, yeah, stands up there. Stands up there. I think I like Rewind more because of just the difficulty of it. But Stan was amazing, especially going back and forth with telling the story between the two characters.
What do you think about Jay-Z as a storytelling rapper?
He's a B plus.
Because I think one of my like best Jay like storytelling type records is Meet the Parents off of the Blueprint 2. You know what I'm talking about.
Hated it.
You ain't like that song? What? You ain't like Meet the Parents? Oh, come on, dog. Why didn't you like it?
Because at that time, well, me and Jamar got to an argument about that a long time ago in Columbus, and I ain't never gonna forget it. But anyway, at that moment,
and I'm not, and I was just gonna say it's an honorable mention to me, not my top 5, just honorable mention. Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, it just at that point, Nas to me put a light on Jay-Z that caused me to look at what he was saying different. For that time frame, I should say, not now, of course, but for that time frame, I just couldn't look at Jay real, man. I lost a lot of respect for him. But that's the reason why I did Blueprint 2, every song on that record. And I tried to go back and listen to it, and I just don't like it. And it's just because of that beef and the way that Nas just kind of came at him in ether, and it just took my whole. I don't think I listened to any Jay albums until maybe. Wow, I don't even want to say Blueprint 3.
I mean, what was after that? What was after that was super dope as far as a Jay-Z album?
Well, truth be told, I a lot of people didn't like what's the album with the red cover? And then when he had his hat tilted.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it, but
yeah, Kingdom Come.
No, that album.
I hated that album. I hated that album.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought he was trying to say something. He really did a good way of saying it, and I just appreciated it. I'm trying to think of the other album after that.
Then you got the Carter. Not the Carter, but the 444 album. You got the Magna Carta, Holy Grail. That wasn't
I like American Gangster. American Gangster.
Yeah, I like American Gangster.
Yeah, that was very raw. And he actually exposed himself with some of those songs, but I ain't gonna go there. Yeah, it was a very raw album. I don't think a lot of people liked it though, but I liked it.
I loved it. I thought it was. I mean, I didn't love it. I liked it. I don't think Jay-Z put out a whack album. I just don't think none of those are good albums that didn't have. None of them had that staying power. Like not like The Blueprint, not like Reasonable Doubt. I guess maybe not even like the Black Album was okay, but I don't know if that some songs from the Black Album stood the test of the time, but I don't believe that the album itself stood the test of the time.
I would have to. It's a lot of skippables.
Yeah, I like that. A lot of skippables. I like that. A lot of skippables. Yeah, it was. I don't know, man. It's. What do you do? Like, it's no. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Pac fan to the fullest, but even I have certain albums of his that, like, I'm like, wasn't. Whatever case.
Like, I never liked All Eyes on Me, and that bothers me to this day that I didn't like it.
It's bothering me to this day that you don't like it.
Yeah, she made me buy it, man. For my birthday, she was like, "You either get the Fugees or you can get Tupac." And I'm like, man, I love Tupac. He's my favorite, but like, I just didn't relate to that kind of Pac, man. I was used to Me Against the World Pac. Brenda's Had a Baby Pac. You know what I'm saying? Like this, it just was a whole different vibe to me, man. So when she made me buy it,
I hear you.
Right.
And I took it home and listened to it. I just didn't connect with it. I felt like it was just a different. I mean, it was cool, it was dope, but it didn't have the same feel. It was dope.
All Eyes on Me grew on me when it first came out. Does that make sense, Jay?
I couldn't hear you.
I said All Eyes on Me grew on me, but it wasn't. I didn't fall in love with it when it first came out.
Yeah.
But as I listened to it more and more and more, then I was like, oh, I love this. Like, there's just songs on the album like I love Wonder Why They Call You Bitch. Like,
I love it now too. But
like
when it first came out, it hurt my feelings. Like, I was just like, who is this guy, man? Like, I mean, you don't really understand. Like, a lot of people don't get the way I grew up, and he did. Like, I felt like he was the only person in the world that understood what it was like to be in that kind of poverty, man. And it was just a disappointment for All Eyes on Me. But again, like Jamar was saying, like, over time I did grow to love it. But when it first came out, man, I was a lot of skippables on that bad boy. I was like, up, nope.
Damn.
Yeah, now I listen to it and I don't skip it. Now I listen to it and I'm like, I don't know, I love it. Like The Blind Stare, A Million Pair of Eyes. Like, You Can't See Me is my shit.
Yeah, I like that song, man. I like that shit.
Yeah, the one with Method Man and Redman, I love it, and I admit,
I got my mind made up.
Killed everybody on the song. I admit it.
Hold on, what you admit?
Redman killed everybody on that song.
Redman is my top. He's my top 5 lyricist. Redman.
Who? Redman for real?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
He's mine for me. Yeah. Listen, he went bar for bar with Pop. He went bar for bar on Eminem on the record, and went bar to bar on Eminem on that record, man. Redman is one of my favorite lyricists.
And he dissed him on that song on Tupac's album too, but they ain't catch it.
Yeah, fuck all that. I'm still mad. I'm changing my mind. His verse was the dopest, but fuck all that. I'm gonna give it to Corrupt.
No, we gonna give it to Inspector Deck at the end.
Can you hear us now, Miguel?
Yeah, I can hear y'all. What's up happening? You hear me, huh?
Oh, yo, we was waiting on you before we jump into the main topic of the podcast, brother, man. That's my brother B, and then my brother Jay, my partner in crime with this whole podcast thing, is behind the Truth Entertainment Films thing. He's behind the screen on there, but I'll introduce you to him.
Triple salute.
I wonder who was the deep boy. I didn't know if we was on First 48 or what. I didn't know what was going on.
It's the Wizard of Oz, man. So the main thing, we were just sitting talking about hip hop, but the main topic is Mount Westmore. If your opinion or your view of the 5 GOATs that will go on the Mount Rushmore of the West Coast. West Coast artists, California artists.
Do I have to put them in specific order, or can I just name them?
Just name of them. But wait a second. There's a caveat. And nobody's going to like this, but I'm going to do it. We got to take Pac off, and we got to take Dr. Dre off.
Okay. Damn, you fucked me up. But if you take both of them off, then my top one, I would have to rock with Cube.
With who?
I would have to rock with Ice Cube. I would have to go with Cube for me. If you taking off Pac and you taking off Dr. Dre.
Okay. So you gonna say your first one, not in no particular order, is Cube. B. Who your first one you throwing on there?
Cube, of course. That was gonna be my first one. And this is no particular order, right? Just top 5?
No particular order, just top 5.
All right. Cube is my first one.
Jay, you want in on this one?
Nah, I'll pass.
I'm gonna go with no particular order. I'm gonna go with fuck it. I can even put an order to mine. I'm gonna go with Game is my number 5.
All right.
Spicy.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question. Why you even put Game in the top 5?
For his impact was so huge, and he saved California, where California was reeling after the death of Pac, and he brought that back, and he's very influential in some of the biggest West Coast artists after that. He played an impact for them, i.e. Kendrick, i.e. Nipsey, where that's that, and you can't think about the West Coast now without. He basically carried the coast on his back, through when he went to G Unit for that album.
See, this is where I was getting at. So, what song you knew before Game got with G Unit, or before he did a feature with 50? What song did you know? Damn. So
wait a second. No. You can count that if you want to use that against them. But
what I'm saying is, like, if we're gonna put impact, right? Kendrick Lamar has had a bigger impact on it than the Game has. It's just his time he came in the game. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
You know,
timing is everything.
Timing is everything. But to me, he just always been like, the Game been like a third wheel. You know what I'm saying? Like, he the ugly fat bitch that hold all the purses of all the good looking hoes and shit. He's always around. You know what I'm saying? No, for real. That's why y'all laughing. For real, listen. He's always around. He's not going nowhere, and he's going to protect all the good looking hoes. You know what I'm saying? So he was just that nigga, like, you know, my name is out here. He liked that player that came in at number 1 draft pick, but just fell off. You know what I'm saying? He didn't fall off, but he was like, he's just been there. He never had a high pinnacle or a low point of his career.
No, I mean, when he hit hard. And he's got a classic album.
He did, but it's a lot of people who got a classic. 50 Cent had a classic album. He never bounced back from that Get Rich or Die Trying. He never bounced back, even though he stood in the game in different avenues. But 50 Cent's hardest album was Get Rich or Die Trying. So you can't really go off an album, because you got a lot of niggas who got one good album.
The Massacre was okay, and it was still.
He had a few good songs.
Yeah.
But listen,
I'm gonna have to agree with Miguel on this one. Like, he had a few songs on there, but I ain't about to be like.
There was a lot of good songs on the Massacre.
But see what happens is with music, right? What happens is with music, right? When you put all them songs on one album, bro, it'd be hard to top that shit no matter what the fuck you do, bro. That shit was hard to top. Like, you can literally put 50 Cent first album in, and you can ride that bitch out from the intro to the outro, bro, without skipping. You know what I'm saying? Massacre, you gotta bap. Let me get to this motherfucker. You know
okay, yeah, but all the schools that we bap were all the songs that were the commercial super big hits.
I would say that,
like the song with what's the name was the shit. The intro, the first his 50 Cent has a habit of his first songs are always hard on the album. Like his whatever song.
So let me ask y'all a question. So the Game,
go ahead.
Can you see the Game doing the verses? Like if he was to go on verses, do you see him having enough hits to do that?
No.
No.
I think
I can see him doing one. I don't see him winning one.
I would like to hear y'all case on why or not, like yay or nay. Like
now, I got a question.
No, right?
I got a question. Now if he does the verses, first of all, who is he doing it with? That's first of all. You see what I'm saying? Because now everybody, listen. We got local rappers doing verses now. You know what I'm saying? The shit that got
my question wasn't if he'll win one or not. My question was if he got enough hits to compete in one. Like, can he enter? Does he fit the criteria of entering the verses? Because you know how you gotta have 20 hits and all that shit for the criteria. Does he fit the criteria to have enough hit records to do that?
Well, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna answer that real quick. Like, but now with the verses, now people using feature songs now.
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
If you take away all his features, but he did. Now, I will say when Game was featured, Game snapped. I can't take that away from him. He snapped. But if you take all his, because all the songs you really know, really with Game is featured songs. You know what I'm saying? Because the song that put him on the map was with 50. Hated to love it, $100 on top. He snapped on that bitch. You know what I'm saying? And even right with the song he got with Kanye now, he snapped on that easy. He snapped on that bitch. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you could put him in the verses, but he don't have no hit songs to be talking about a top 20. Because right now, can you name a top 5 Game songs that are hit songs just off the rip without thinking about it?
Oh, okay? How about this? I can name a Game song. He don't have a really an individual by himself song, except for that one Blood still hits. But This Is How We Do is probably one of his songs. If he played, that's gonna be hard to beat. Hated to Love It is gonna be hard to beat.
But who was in it though? But who was in the song with him?
That's true. I'm not taking that away from him. I'm not taking that away from what you're saying. But what I'm sort of saying is we go talking about like Game, his impact still what his impact was, i.e., even though 50 Cent, whatever case, you talk about the biggest and highest selling. Actually, 50 Cent may have fell off album making wise, but Game may not have had the commercial success behind his albums after he left 50 Cent, but he put together solid ass albums afterwards and whatnot. Like where he got albums with some bomb ass songs on it that I can't even think. He just don't have none of the commercial songs, but he's got some songs and some albums that's some fucking good listen.
Okay,
and
my thing is this though, right? We all ride in the car, we bump music. Who ever got in your car and say, "Hey, put this Game album on"?
I got a cousin that's West Coast, so that nigga gonna do
it. I mean, besides that, nobody's not really bumping. Nobody, your first thing you put on in your car is not the Game.
Okay, all right. So we gonna go right there. All right, so I can see why you don't know. I can see why you don't.
I mean, he might.
I can see why you don't, but it's just hard to name 5. I mean, it's hard to name 5 other artists, not 5 other artists, but 6 to 7 other artists that are bigger, that had bigger impact or whatever career than the Game.
But see, now your question making sense.
I'm not saying he should be there in place of Cube. So I'm not saying he should be there in place of Cube, but I'm just saying because of his impact alone and because what he meant and what he did for the West Coast at that time where nobody was checking for Snoop, nobody was checking for nobody from the West Coast, and 50 Cent put him in a position to carry that coast for an album and a half.
Okay, so now you saying he did that by default. Because you said timing is everything. So he did that by default. That's almost like right. You ain't make the basketball team one year, right? But guess what? Everybody left. Not a team sorry as hell, and now you the starter.
I see your point, but
but that's like wait. But that's like the team was asked before you got there, and you get there. Now the team is winning, and it's because of you. You can go both ways.
But the album was a successful album, was it not?
Yes.
Exactly. So you got that alone to credit to why Game is so significant in the West like he is. Because during that time, he had a successful project. He was a West Coast artist, and they weren't really giving a lot of West Coast artists a lot of attention during the time when he was out.
So you're trying to say the same thing.
It was all mostly Southern artists. It was all the Southern artists mostly.
Right. So the same things that you can give him credit for, you're trying to take away credit from it.
No. I'm not taking credit. What I'm saying, what you're saying is timing is everything. This is what I'm saying. So then at that time, for whatever reason, there was no really artist doing anything or trying to do anything. So he just stepped up and did it. But I'm saying, if where we're at to this point with all these West Coast artists, if they was out back then doing shit, well, he would have had an impact.
But they all was dropping albums at that time. Too Short had an album out at that time. Ice Cube.
I don't think I know about the Whistle.
Ice Cube was dropping albums at that time with him.
Ice Cube was old though.
That's what I'm sitting there saying. It's not his fault that these guys was old.
I know it's not his fault. I know it's not his fault. But what I'm saying is his impact was predicated just on default to me. A lot of people win certain awards on default because of the situation. Doesn't mean that there was that nigga. It was just, this is what happened at that time for whatever reason.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Out of all the rest of these artists that we're probably going to name, bars wise, who can see him? Don't even name your rappers. Just think in your head. Just think in your head.
Rappers.
No, I'm an artist myself, so I'm gonna ask a question now. There's a difference between making a song and being lyrical. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit different. So what do you consider the cheat code?
And he found the cheat code by being able to get bars, and then when 50 Cent left, from which took the hooks away from him, he just started having the producers that he fucked with creating the hooks for him, and he still rolled away. So
because at this present moment, even with artists, right? Like we want to, because I'm gonna put, and not because of the situation, what happened to him, but like niggas was really sleeping on Nipsey Hussle for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like I fucks with Nipsey, but at the end of the day, music is all emotions, right? So it's what you going through and what you feeling at that time, how you gonna feel a song. You know what I'm saying? So it's touchy with music because it just depends on the person. You know what I'm saying? Because everything may not suit you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's
okay. So then let's go to your next person. And I'm gonna let B go first with his person, the next person in this top 5.
I had West Coast, right?
Yep.
Of course, I'm gonna say Too Short.
Ooh, I'm gonna put Too Short of mines. He's my number 4.
And this ain't no particular order. I'm just saying top 5.
Yeah, our minds is the order. But Game 5 and Too Short is 4 for me in my order.
So my question is now with Too Short, like why you put Too Short like in your top 5?
Just the impact, Oakland sound, all that shit. Impact what he had in Bay Area, all that shit. Hits. He had hit records. He had Blow the Whistle. He had Getting It. He had. He stayed no matter what. That's what I was about to get to. No matter what, he stayed relevant and he stayed consistent.
Crunk came, he found a way. He found a way to blend in and get his hits out of it. After Crunk, he still found a way to still sit there and slide and make it stay relevant and whatnot. And then just from an independent standpoint of what independence means to California as a whole, plus the Bay Area, yeah, he's there.
Okay, y'all both say Too Short. I'm gonna say E40.
That's fair.
That's fair.
I feel like E40 to me, if he's not right there with Too Short, I feel like he may be just a little bit. He's over Too Short. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying part now we want to go longevity wise and still making music that sounds good.
Both of them doing it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And with the hyphy movement, like And then with E40, like E40, he just recently started getting like big features. He never had no really big features and shit like that. And everything he did was like pretty much on his own like that. Like it wasn't like he was on no big ass, label type shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that shit came off the strength of him. You know what I'm saying? So me, I would say I would put E40 on that.
I can rock with that. I can respect that and have no complaints about it. And I'll go next because my number 3 was E40. So he was my number 3, E40. So who's your number 3, B?
We're not doing Corrupt, right?
No, you can do Corrupt if that's what you feel.
Because I don't know why I thought Corrupt was like from Philly or some shit like that. But I was gonna say, hold on, what's my number 3? Because E40 is a good one, but I'm gonna go with Corrupt.
I won't.
Then again, wait a minute. Let me think. All right, let me think. I take that back because we got to think about impact and shit. Like Corrupt was that dude lyrically, but E40 had more of an E40.
Okay,
E40.
you E42. Miguel, who's your number 3?
So what? I already had 7. I rocks with Nipsey. I wouldn't say my number 3. I'm not going in order, but from the time
but who's your third person? So you put Nipsey over Game?
I fucks with Nipsey, bro. I just like because I fucks with his vibe. You know what I'm saying? That's my type of vibe, like mellow rap, like you know what I'm saying, type shit. Yeah, I fucks with his vibe. Like I feel like he don't get enough credit for just the album sales he did off his own behind no label push. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I look at that shit. You know how hard it is to sell how many records he sold without a label?
No,
bro?
that's 100% facts. But you're putting Nipsey over Game?
I just don't fuck with Game like that. I'm just being real. Like I try to listen. Like I say, I love all Game features, bro. Listen, his features slide to me, but this is sit and listen to the album. I can't fuck with his voice like that and shit. And it just I don't know. I just can't fuck with him. It's just, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's your choice. As much as I think Nipsey is dope, and I know timing is everything, and I feel right when he was positioning himself to start moving himself into consideration with that album, that anything he done after that, I felt he would continue to grow. I felt Nipsey was on his way to being a top 5 type of MC. I feel like nothing. His previous albums were good, but there's nothing to make you be like, he was that nigga. Victory Lap was the one where you was like, all right, he figured it out. Victory Lap is like when you felt like he figured it out. He stopped banging so much on wax and figured out how to still give you that shit, but still give you more to it. Like he found out how to balance, not a commercial sound, but to balance that soul in the being of his soul. And I felt like Victory Lap was when he found out who Nipsey was and stuff like that.
Say this. I'm gonna take Nipsey off right now. I'm gonna go with some old school niggas, right? But you can say certain people that's well known that I fuck with because I'm an 80s baby and say I can say MC8, bro.
Who am I to tell you that you're wrong? I wouldn't put he's top 10, but he's not my top 5. But I fucks with MC8 on a heavy level.
It's just how much you fuck with a nigga, because it's underground niggas who I be feeling like, you know what I'm saying? Just how you. So now if you want to just go off of impact of a person's career, then that's totally different.
So you put 8 over DJ Quick?
Nah, I ain't putting an 8 over DJ Quick though.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, listen. I wasn't saying that. I was getting ready to go to DJ Quick.
Nah.
My favorite song is "I Don't Want to Eat It." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. DJ Quick definitely on my list. DJ Quick on my list.
But DJ Quick, listen. He was in my top 5. I was getting there. You don't said it already. Shit.
So wait. You got Miguel. You got E40, you got DJ Quick, you got Nipsey, and I missed someone. Who else did you say? Too Short? No, you didn't say Too Short. You said Who was the other person? Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Ice Cube. Okay, so Cube, E40, Nipsey, DJ Quick.
My order would go.
Oh, you took off Nipsey. You took off Nipsey and put MC8.
Yeah. So if I had to put that in order, my order would go. Cube would be number 1. E40 would be next. DJ Quick, MC8, and then Nipsey.
Don't say the last one yet.
I already gave you 5.
That was 4 because you took off Nipsey.
Oh, I took off Nipsey. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. B. Who's your next one? Or DJ Quick is your next one?
That was my next one.
Huh?
That was gonna be my next one.
DJ Quick, top 5 Mount Westmore. I want to put Q, but I want to put Quick, and then I'm gonna go with Kendrick, Kung Fu Kenny. Is my number my second place, and then Miguel can get I'm gonna let B go first with giving his number 1, and that's probably Snoop. It's got to be Snoop.
Oh yeah, Snoop. It was Snoop. Kendrick was my number 2. Snoop was my number 1. Snoop all time, like all time. Snoop for me. Impact, flow,
Everything.
But you got it. It's Snoop. You got it.
Listen, hey, Snoop was mine, but you can't mention West Coast without mentioning this guy here. He's not a rapper, but if you was hot when he was around, Nate Dogg was on your song, bro.
That's true.
Nate, if you was hot, nigga, Nate Dogg was on your, but he was a gospel gangster singing ass nigga, bro. So I mean, he ain't no rapper, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But dog, if I had to put him in there, bro, for the work he did do, bro, Nate Dogg was that nigga, bro.
Nate Dogg might be that
nigga, man.
Nate Dogg is top 5 of hooks in music. Period.
Yeah. But it'll be Snoop though. I Snoop got to be in there though for me.
What you think of that new album?
You listen to that new album yet? Snoop?
No, I haven't. Listen, I haven't listened to Snoop since he changed his name to Snoop Lion and all that goofy shit.
Nah, his new album is pretty good, man. His new album is pretty good. You got to listen to it. It's pretty
Back
good.
on Death Row, because you know he got on Death Row again. Well, he owns Death Row now.
So they say.
No, he does.
He does.
He
got it all back. Yeah.
How much he paid them Jews to get that shit back?
It was undisclosed, but I know it was a lot. But they sold him the name. He had to go buy the music separately.
This is what I'm saying. Because one thing white folks don't do is sell masters back, bro. Because they leave that shit in the family.
Right. So he had to go get the. He had to go get the.
He got it.
He got Dog Pound. He got Dog Pound. He got Lady of Rage stuff. He's got Nate Dogg stuff. He's fighting to still get a lot of his back, and he's making a deal with Tupac's family to get Tupac's Death Row stuff back. And Dr. Dre has Dr. Dre music, but Dr. Dre will license it to him to use.
Okay.
I feel if we go and if I was to go and sit there and say honest, like Snoop is number 1 West Coast artist of all time. And of course, you can't say most of these guys without some shape, form, or fashion of Dr. Dre being an impact to all of them, like Under a Tree when he's linked. But like Snoop's probably got, in my opinion, I know Snoop's got a top 5 rap album of all time with that Doggy Style. And then he's all over another top 5 rap album of all time, The Chronic. Who the hell got a train?
That
was my window. That was me. Yep, I live by the train, so like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, like, Snoop's got like 2 of the top. He's on all over. He's got a top 5 rap album of all time, and he's on the thing. Real quick before we jump into this last part of the podcast, I want to ask you your opinion on, and this is not West Coast, but do you feel, in your personal opinion, that the hell's her name? Lauryn Hill's album is one of the greatest music albums of all time. Period. In music.
No.
You don't.
No.
I didn't say the greatest. One of the greatest.
Oh, one of the greatest. Like,
yeah.
When you say one, like top 50.
Top. I think it's top 5 as far as music, but if you say top 25 of music.
You said
of all
top
time.
5 is music. Not
Yeah.
top 5 is music. Like, nah. No. Like music, like no category, just album.
It's albums.
No. Nah. Not to me. Not top 25.
That's fair enough. Miguel, what about you?
Well, you know, as a music, let me stop. But I would put that bitch in the top 10. And like I say, I'm gonna say this again. How it is not about what you feel is good. You know what I'm saying? Just certain music is just not for everybody. You feel what I'm saying? Like some niggas can put a country album on for like it's the best album in the fucking world. It's just what suits you in music. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Even when you're in your car, most of the time, what music you play is how you feel, right?
Right.
At the time, that's just how that shit go. But that fucking, you talking about what was it? Uneducated
Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
That fucking album.
Listen, that's the reason why she still have a little bit of money.
Yep.
If it wasn't for that album, she'd be down. Shit,
bro, I don't think it's a skippable song on that album.
I really don't. You let that bitch ride, bro. Like
let it ride. Just let it bump the whole way through. And every song on that motherfucker was like a hit, in its own right.
And guess what? And like I told you before, with 50 Cent, when you come out with albums like that, guess what? It's hard to do.
Top that. You can't top it.
And she just, it's like she put everything in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
You know, the only person who was able to maybe not top, but be right there with the first classic album, I think it's only maybe Jay-Z was Reasonable Doubt is a classic, but it's not like a classic where everybody thinks it's one of the great albums.
Ooh, I'm glad you brought him up because y'all niggas about to kick me out the show after this.
No, my brother Mike, cause he a Jay fan, but Jay cool, he a GOAT, but he not my GOAT.
But listen though. See, I'm gonna get into this, bro. Go ahead.
But only person to really do it and be able to beat that pressure and make another album, if right there, just a little bit lower, would be Dr. Dre with the Chronic 2001. The Chronic compared to 2001, where both of them shits was like classics, where you was like, fuck, like, man, where you was like, I can't believe it. Like, he had the shit for the hood. He had the shit for like niggas in the hood, even like the song with Eminem. Nowadays, everybody want to talk like that shit was like, I was like, oh my gosh, like that shit was Dre's only one. But you can go ahead and hit up real quick, your boy Jigga. You can light him up if you want.
Now, see, I've been trying to figure out for years, you know, I get a lot of hate mail underneath this, bro. A lot of hate mail. And, you know, I'm trying to figure out, you know, why people put him on his pinnacle and make him as a GOAT of rap. So I get a lot of different answers. So my thing is this with Jay-Z, right? Perfect timing, once again, like you say. To me, it's a lot to do with timing and a lot of people who pushed him. That's just like right now, right? If you played a certain song on your radio long enough, even if you don't like it, eventually you're gonna end up rapping that shit, right? You know what I'm saying? So at the time when Jay-Z was here, the perfect timing with him, that's the only thing motherfuckers kept pushing out of motherfucking New York, bro. You ain't really hear, it was other people, but it was just, we riding this wave with this nigga. So a lot of people just became fans to me on just default. Don't get me wrong, now Jay-Z has a lot of fucking songs. He has a lot of songs that I fuck with, but I'm also a type nigga that will say, you won't hear me just riding down the street in Florida, just I'm bumping that Jay-Z right now. It may be some feature shit, change clothes and go. Girl, I promise you. You know what I'm saying? It may be one of those type vibes, you know what I'm saying? But just to say, right. You know what? I got a 17-hour trip from Florida to Ohio. I'm bumping a whole Blueprint and shit. Nah, nigga.
I think Blueprint's the only one of his albums I probably could bump without skipping.
You could definitely bump the Blueprint on a road trip. You can even bump the Dynasty on the road trip. Like, it's some Jay-Z albums you can definitely ride to on that. Like,
B, you might have named the only 2 albums I think I could bump.
American Gangster, Dynasty. I could ride the Volume 3 on that shit. You know what I'm saying? To me,
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna say this. Well, I think he froze up.
Who, you?
Y'all froze up?
No, you good. Miguel.
Shit, well, I'm still froze. Yeah.
Well, you still regular. You're regular.
Well, I'm gonna say this, bro. Like, you know, I feel like Jay-Z, he's putting a lot of work. I will say that, but I do feel like it's just certain people who gets more credit than what they're supposed to have. That's me personally. You know what I'm saying? And numbers do lie. We can't always go off fucking numbers. Numbers lie like a mother. They say they don't lie, but yes, numbers do lie. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just go off because, okay, when he went diamond and platinum, I know a lot of trash ass songs that's diamond and platinum. It's just the time we living in right now where you can make those things happen. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Dog, I promise. You may not say he ain't got that much, but shit, I put in some fabulous before I pop in a
Mr. Bend over. Mr. Bend
That's
over.
me. That's me. Don't get mad at me. That's my opinion.
No, I'm not mad at all, man. I just I appreciate the fact that you are putting some facts into it. Like you giving him his credit on as far as his accomplishments and everything. But I just want to give you another side of Jay, because I literally been listening to the dude since I was 15 years old.
Wait.
His impact to me is not in sales. It's not in hits.
Yeah, it's never been in sales.
And it's not into him being, quote, as you said, quote unquote, pushed as that guy from New York. To me, I relate to his story because of what he's been through, and he talks about it, and he does it in such an intricate way that he made me feel good about having done something wrong but become something right. And to me, as a black male, you don't get a lot of that impact. You get, and a lot of people will say, okay, he had ass shaking songs, he had guns, so he has that, but that's not what I listen to Jay for.
Right.
I mean, the lyricism, it speaks for itself, but his story to me is what always touched me, and that was since Reasonable Doubt.
And so listen, and like I was saying to Jamar, what did I say before? So music is all about being relatable to somebody. That's how you can get a lot of fans. The first thing you said was it was relatable. I can understand what he was going through, because maybe I was going through that. So that's how you first get fans, period, is what they can relate to. You know what I'm saying? So what you may relate to, I may not be, because we don't go through the same thing, because we know emotions are fickle. Nothing's never the same. So we may not experience the same thing, but we may in certain type of ways. But like I say, I would never say he's not a top 10. You know what I'm saying? See, people get mad at that, but I wouldn't put him in my top 5. It's just certain people I just don't vibe. I just can't vibe with.
But
like
that's fair. If you don't have him, that's fair. If you don't have him in your top 5, and there's some people who don't. I think because, like always, before we get ready to wrap this up, because I gotta do don't hashtag this. What the fuck? I always.
Who the fuck putting that shit? Y'all see that
we
shit?
We can block him. Yeah, we can block him.
This nigga
what happened?
Come on, I rape little boys.
For some ignorant ass comments, we blocked him.
Oh,
okay. I blocked him. I was gonna say that I look at music in 2 ways. When we do these top five, or anybody do lists, I try to always clarify the thing and understand: do you want my personal, or do you want me to give you what I feel? Just period, regardless of how I feel about that person as a rapper, who I feel is top 5, top 25, or whatever the case. Because there's a difference. My personal top 25 could be, like, if you ask me personally, and B is a witness. In actuality, I'm not the biggest Game fan, and B, I respect him. I'm not the biggest Game fan. I used to argue with his cousin all the time, but I try to get. I have to look at it like I look at Jay-Z. Is Jay-Z a top? Is Jay-Z to me number one rapper of all time? No, but is he top 5? Yes. Is he top 3? Yes, arguably yes. Like you have to so you have to give people like their credit. So it's a difference between my personal choices and then like you having done music and being in music, and like me and my brother also, where we know we hear music in 2 ways. We hear music, we're like, okay, cool. We hear music from a competitor's ear, but then we also hear music from the standpoint of like, yo, like that was some slick shit. I might not be a fan of that person, but yo, that's shit, or that's a catchy song. Like, I can't do that. That's a catchy song. Like, good is good. Or a motherfucker that got it. We ain't got to be a fan of them, but you can give them their props and give them their flowers. That's true. And Jay-Z is that guy to me where he didn't impact me like my brother, but my brother has his own reasons for that, for Jay speaking to him in a way. But I know for Jay-Z's impact and the whole plethora from bars to everything we were talking about earlier, from bars to delivery to impact to sales to longevity matters, and so forth and so on is amazing. It's amazing. Like if you ask, like he's just a top 5 guy. And yes, you're right. Timing is everything. Will he be this top 5 guy if Biggie was still around? We don't know. Was he the top 5 guy when Biggie was around? He was on his way to being considered that in New York, but timing is everything. That Biggie's death left an impact. And what I've learned about New York is this, which is true, and it is a New York thing because New York does it to this day, and I bet you we all can witness it. New York is quick to take wanting, especially nowadays, the last 10 years, maybe 15, wanting so bad to get hip hop back to them. Any and every little artist that comes along with a little wave, New York quicks to crown them like they're the fucking greatest thing. I, for the life of me, can't figure out why the hell motherfuckers are so hype about Bobby Shmurda when I'm like, this nigga was a one-hit wonder. Like, and you niggas tried to crown him like he was the greatest thing ever. Pop Smoke was cool, but it wasn't like these niggas wanted to compare him to Tupac. Like, they felt like he was that, whatever. It's like New York does
we live in a different time right now, so, you know.
Yeah, he right. Yeah, Miguel hit that shit on the head. We're in a different time.
We living in a different time where it's just more of because half these niggas, if you couldn't see all the clown shit they do, you wouldn't even be interested to even get to know them. Or, you know, a lot of that shit just be intriguing. Like, well, let me see what he got going on, and people just accidentally may like something that's stupid. You know what I'm saying? So it's just we in the YouTube era. You know what I'm saying? Where people just get to just see everybody's fucking life on shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's a story. It's a story. You know what I'm saying? Now, like right now, dog, you know how 6ix9ine done died down stupid right now. I know he getting low on money right now. He about to be sick. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's just
but again, he was never good in the first place. But New York was so hungry. It's so hungry to hype up a nigga, like where you be like, what the hell? Like they got okay guys and they blow them like they're the next big thing. Like they're just whatever. Like, and I'm like, where the fuck did this dude come from? Like the dude that sounds just like Pop Smoke when Pop Smoke died and came out with on the same beats and everything else. The CJ dude. Like the CJ dude or whatever the fuck his name was, the little light-skinned dude who they knew was a fraud or whatever. He came out with that one song and New York was like pushing him real hard so they found out he was a fraud. Like New York be so hungry to get rap back that any and everybody that come out of New York, they try to push it to the limelight like this nigga's the next hottest thing.
Because you gotta understand, seasons change, right? You know how long New York had rap. I don't say this New York. Let's say up north. How long they had that shit, bro? That shit had that shit rap game for a long time, and so waves change. You know what I'm saying, and different music changes and shit like that. So now, of course, they trying to get this shit back because that shit is down south like a motherfucker. You got how many down south artists just come out You know how many artists done came out where I'm from, Jacksonville, they just blew up out of nowhere and shit off of one fucking ass song and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
But you don't hear from them no more.
That's it. Because you know what? Because everything is about money. You know, if you can get a one, no, just imagine right now, Jamar, you come up with a crazy one song, right? You know how much money you can make off that one song in 1 year?
You're gonna become a millionaire basically off of one song, but the rest of your album is you ain't even gotta release an album. You can keep making if you keep finding a way to ride the way to make one song, you dope. Like what's the old boy from the West Coast, OT Genesis?
Yeah.
I don't know if this nigga dropped the album. He might have dropped the album finally, but he's been around forever. He just lives single to single.
You know why? You want to know why he don't have to? Listen, like right now, if you get I'm gonna just throw out a number. Say you get 10,000 fans that are loyal, and them same 10,000 fans come to your show 2 days out the week, and you charge a certain price. So yeah, it's certain people going, you know what I'm saying? Because they done created a fan base for themselves, so they don't need the whole world to listen to them. Just as long as those certain loyal fans just keep coming and purchasing music and purchasing
streaming and shit, and showing up at shows.
It's showing up, bro.
All
And
right.
that's how Nipsey did that shit. He went to buy arenas, and them niggas would come. That nigga sold his album for $100, bro. Like, come on, man.
I think Jay-Z bought 100 of them.
Yeah.
Well, we about to get ready to end this. We about to get ready to end this, but we gonna jump into before we end this episode with don't hashtag don't hashtag this.
Okay, AAA listeners, it's time for Black V to present Don't Hashtag This. I repeat, don't hashtag this. And now your co-host, Black V.
Don't hashtag this for episode number 70 is going to be, let me bring it back up real quick. I just lost that quick. It's going to be don't hashtag self-diagnosed. Again, don't hashtag self-diagnosed. You know how many motherfuckers be walking around here self-diagnosing themselves, talking about, oh, I got anxiety, or ain't seen their doctor, ain't seen their shrink, no therapist, or nothing like that, but run around diagnosing themselves not only with mental illnesses, but all kind of other medical illnesses, and don't be knowing what the fuck they talking about. It's sad because not everybody, mama, but I got friends of mine who like, I got anxiety, that's why I smoke weed all the time, every day, all day long, whatever case, because I got anxiety. I'm like, what the fuck? Did you go to the doctor? The doctor told you that? Nah, I just know that's what I got. I Googled that shit. I'm like, nigga, what? You Googled it? Google MD, my nigga?
That sound like my wife and shit. She always diagnosing herself with shit. And what's fun about doing that shit, right? When you Google shit, everything leads to AIDS and shit. Like, I got a headache. Well, you might have AIDS. Well, my eye hurting. You might have AIDS. I'm like, God damn. Man, my wife diagnosed herself so many times and shit. I'm like, that nigga here tripping and shit. But you know, a lot of people, they diagnose themselves just to make an excuse to do what they want to do anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what
if I do this.
Listen, I'm a firm believer, and I hate when people do shit like this and other things, because you take away from the people who are really hurting, who are really dealing with issues. Guess what? It's the popular thing, especially amongst the young kids. I got it. My 14-year-old likes to self-diagnose herself. I'm depressed. I'm this, and I'm like, yo, I'm depressed. I still got to get the fuck up and go to work. I still got to go handle my goddamn business. Like, I was depressed in high school. Niggas was trying to whoop my ass and no, that was junior high. Chase me down the hallway and everything else. Like, yo, I got chased home every day from elementary school by little Antoine and Rashad. Like, yo, look at depression.
Right.
But I'm not acknowledging it, but it's like, okay, since that's what you want to call yourself, what are you going to do to fix it? And instead, some people don't want to fix it. They just want to diagnose and then use that as an excuse and continue to stay in that realm. And I know it's hard. It's never easy. But this is for them people who's not really dealing with depression, or who's really dealing with real deep depression, and the motherfuckers who depressed just because they work in a fucking bum ass job, but they don't get the fuck up and go change their fortunes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like who be like, yo, like if you can't, I got no problem with those that smoke weed. This is not against weed smokers. This is against motherfuckers who become dependent on that shit, that act like, yo, I can't live without it. Motherfuckers be like 50 years old, then start smoking weed till they was 20 and be like, yo, I can't live without weed. I'm like, nigga, what did you do the first 20 years of your life? It's not that thing. So it's like, quit. I just want people to stop self-diagnosing themselves with shit that real people who are really having these issues are going through. That's sitting there dealing with some shit and having a hard time. Like, if you feel you are, then go get fucking help. Don't just go smoke a joint talking about, yo, I just smoked this. You know what I'm saying? What a doctor gonna tell me? A doctor can't tell me shit. There can't no therapist or no psychiatrist or nobody fucking help me solve my problems. That's why I sit there and I get high. This is my medicine to help me get through it. You coping. You not fixing. It's like fucking cough syrup. Cough syrup does not fucking heal you. It just covers up the fucking symptoms. Go get some help.
Pretty much every medicine through the much every medicine through the FDA, but that's a whole nother topic. But
yeah. So I just get tired of the excuses. We live in a world that actually is okay with excuses, prepares you, and survives and thrives off of allowing people to have excuses. And then they roll with it, and they take the easy. It's always easy to take the fucking easy way out, and that's tiresome right there, man. That's real tiresome. Like, it's always somebody else's fault, and then you can't do it because it's somebody else's fault. Like, it's always an excuse after an excuse after excuse, and at some point, like, you have to take accountability. How bad do you want it? So, as we wrap up this episode, Miguel, can you go ahead and shout out all the things you have going on?
Let's see. Mr. Bendover got a lot of things going on, bitch. You hear me, huh? Anyway, Deep Throat Conversations, setting off tomorrow at 8:30.
He freed up? I think he froze up.
Yeah,
he froze up. Yeah, okay. Deep Throat Conversations. Mr. Bendover is also on the Butt Naked podcast. Comes on late Friday night, sometimes Saturday nights. Normally about 11:30. You said what? DM freeze back. We got that. He's also, all those are brought to you by Jetfly Productions, as well as AAA Productions and the parent company Truth Entertainment Films. I'd like to give a shout out and a thank you to my boy B. I appreciate you, man. Your conversation was super dope. Thank you, B, for coming on. Miguel, welcome back, brother. Mr. Bendover, welcome back. I shouted out Jetfly Clothing and your other ventures you had going on because you froze.
Appreciate it.
So yeah, check us out late tonight. We will be on the Bucket Naked podcast about between 11 and 11:30 tonight. Dropping, talking crazy. No topic is too nasty, too crazy, or too real that we can't talk about, or too offensive. We talk about it all. If you get offended, leave a comment and cuss us out. But just watch. I want to shout out Shady. I want to shout out Truth Entertainment Films, AAA Productions. I want to shout out Annie and Queens with Attitude.
Yeah, we miss you. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. Queens with Attitude, as well as Pussy Talks. Yo, I'm Black V. That's my brother D80. I thank my two guests, Be Nice and Mr. Bendover.
Salute.
And we out of here. God bless you and good night.
All right, peace.